各位亲爱的网友朋友，大家好。
Hello to all our friends.
今天呢，我们这个话题啊，就是叫做师父救了我。
Today we are going to talk
这个师父指
about
的是我。
the topic of Grandmaster Saved Me. The Grandmaster we are
就
referring
是
to
有多种多
myself.
样的哈。
And what are the
有一些
methods
呢，
of
它是
saving
修法，
people?
通过
There's
修法呢，
many different
是得
methods.
康复了，奖励康
So
复，
some they have
或
recovered
者
in
避
terms
免
of
了这个
health.
做手术的灾难哈。
Some they have
还有的
avoided
呢，
going for
是使
surgery.
用和佩戴菩提的法物，
And some, by
就避
having
开了
our
车祸
blessed
呀，
items,
避
they
开
have
可能与
avoided
死
accidents
神擦肩而过的这种灾难。
or they avoided
哎，
death.
那是不是有这么准确呢？
Is it really
我
true?
们听听下面的分享。
So
一个
let's
故事
listen
哈。
to the sharings
师傅，
coming up.
那我先为师傅带来一个美国白莲禅堂
So first,
文玄世
let me
界
share
的
about a
分享，
sharing
是
from
关于他的
Bailian
妈妈重获
Meditation
新生的
Center
故事。他说：
about
师
how
傅
the
好，
mother
我
has
的妈妈
recovered
今年
a new
88
life.
岁了，想
My
分享
mother
妈妈
is
走八卦受益
88
的故事。
years.
50岁左右呢，
I'd like to
妈妈的
share the
身体
story
就
of my
开始
mother
出现各
benefiting
种
from
问
Energy
题，高
Bagua.
血脂、
Around
高
the
血
age of
压、
50,
高转
my
氨
mother's
酶
body
转
began to
氨
have
维素
various
就是肝脏
problems:
损伤的一
high
种激素，
cholesterol,
还有
high
她的
blood
甘油
pressure,
酸脂啊高到了
high
正常值的3倍。
transaminase, and
那
her
高血脂呢
triglycerides
导
were
致了
3
动脉
times the
硬化，
normal
动
value.
脉硬化又引发了心律不齐和心动过缓。她的心脏1分钟
High
只跳
cholesterol
40
has
多
led
次，
to
她的人呢经常处于眩晕
atherosclerosis,
疲劳的状
and the
态。医生给
atherosclerosis
她
has
做了多
caused
方面的检查，
arrhythmia
最后的
and
结论是无药
bradycardia.
可医。
Her heartbeat
心
was
率如
only
果再低
40
下去
times
就
a
要装
minute.
起搏器了。另外呢，妈妈还长期受皮肤病的困扰。
And she was
我记得
often in the
小
state
时
of
候啊，
dizziness
妈
and
妈每
fatigue.
年春
The
季小
doctor
腿
did
上
various
都长
examinations
满
on
了
her, and the
风
final
湿性的
conclusion was
结
that
节
there was
红
no
斑，
clue,
疼
and no
痛无
matter
比，
how
经常
low
不
the
能
heart
下
rate
地，
was,
吃
a
止痛药也
pacemaker
没有
would
用，
have to be
最后
installed.
只能靠激素
In
类的止
addition, my
痛药
mother has
来
been
控
troubled
制
by
疼
skin
痛。
diseases for a long time.
除了上
I
面这些
remember
病
that
之
since I
外
was a
呢，
child,
妈妈还
my
患
mother's
有骨
calves
质
were
疏
covered
松、
with
脂肪
rheumatic
肝、关节炎，
nodusum
再加上
every
长
spring.
期失
The
眠、
pain was
萎
so
缩，
painful that she
所有的老
often
年
couldn't
病
step
几乎
onto the
都被
ground.
占全了。
Taking
而
painkillers
常
was
年的这样的
useless,
病
and
痛
she
和
could
用
only
药，
use
妈
steroids
妈
to
的
control
皮
the
肤变得
pain.
黝黑黝黑
In
的，
addition to the
不是健
above,
康的
my
黑，
mother
还
also
经常被人
suffers
误以
from
为是黑的病人。
osteoporosis,
妈
fatty
妈的
liver,
左边的脸颊上
arthritis,
长
and
了一
long-term
大块的
insomnia.
黑斑，
It can be said
全
that
身
she
的
has
皮肤经
almost
常
taken up
起
all the
又痛
geriatric
又痒的
diseases.
红疹子，
Years of
她又害
illness
怕洗
and
澡。
medication has
到了
made my mother's
2018
skin
年，
darker,
妈
and
妈
she
的
was
小腿
often
皮肤
mistaken
开
for a
始糜烂，
Filipino.
长
There's
成
also a
一个5
large
到8
dark
厘米
spot on
大
the
的
left
椭
cheek.
圆形
Painful
黑
and
色的这
patchy
个溃
and
疡。
itchy red
颈部
rashes
皮
often
肤糜烂
appear
是
on the
血
skin
液
all
循环
over the
不好导
body,
致的，
and she was
可是
afraid
严
to
重
take a
下去的
bath.
话呢，可能就要
In
截肢了。
2018,
本身
the
就
skin
是
on the
医生
calf
的妈
began
妈，
to rot,
求医问
forming
药
a
1
5 to
年
8
多，
cm
可是溃
over
烂非但
black
没有任何
ulcer.
好转，而且
Erosion of
越
the
烂
skin
越
on the
大。
legs is caused by
2019
the
年的
poor
7
blood
月，我极
circulation.
力地劝说她练习八卦内
It
功，
is very
可是妈
common
妈是基
for
督徒，
elderly
刚开始还是不愿意接受的。但是因为实在无药可医，为了避免截
and is
肢，
very
妈妈
severe
就
and
开
may
始走八
require
卦了。
amputation.
虽然每天只走半个小时，而且动作也不规范，
My mother, who is a
但
doctor
是效
herself,
果
has
却
been
非
seeking
常显
medical
著。
treatment for
走
more
了
than a
不到
year,
1个
but
月，
festering
妈妈
has
腿
not
上的这
improved
个
and it
溃
was
烂
getting
就
from
完
worse to
全愈
worse.
合了，
In July
变得有光
2019,
泽、
I
有
tried my
弹
best
性
to
了。
persuade her to
就这
practice
样，
Energy
妈妈
Bagua.
开始了
My
每
mother
天
is a
坚持修
Christian,
炼
so she
八卦。
couldn't
1 年
accept it
后，
at first.
从每天半小
But
时
because
增
there
加
was
到了
really
1
no
个小
cure,
时，
in order
奇
to
迹啊，
avoid
更多的奇迹
amputation,
就出
my
现了。
mother began to
在
practice
半年
Energy
后的一次
Bagua.
体检，这个
Although
时
she
候妈
only
妈就
worked for
怀了
half
1
an
年
hour
半。
a day,
医
the
生告诉
movements
她，
were
她
irregular.
所有
The
的血液
effects
指
were
标都
significant.
正常了，
Within a month
甘
of
油
walking,
三酯
the
降到了
ulcers on the legs were
150以下
completely
正常
healed
值，
and her skin became
胆固醇
glowing
降
and
到了
elastic.
200以下也是
In
正
this
常
way,
值，
my
高
mom
血压也
began
降
to
回来
practice
了，
Energy
心率
Bagua
也正
every
常了，
day.
从原来的
1 year
40多
later,
到现在的
my mom
60、70
increased from
非常
half an
好，
hour a
再
day
也
to
没有
1
心
hour,
跳暂停
working
的
for
现
half an
象
hour
了。
in the morning
妈
and
妈的
half an hour in the afternoon, and more miracles appeared. During the physical examination 6 months later, the doctor told her that the blood indications were all normal. Her triglycerides dropped below 150, and her blood cholesterol dropped below 200. And the high blood pressure has also dropped. The heart rate is normal, from the original 40 times to the current 60 to 70 times. This is no longer a pause in the heartbeat, and the transaminase is normal. So the bone density indicators are also back to normal. Originally, due to osteoporosis, the bone density should be checked every 6 months. This time, the doctor told her that it should be checked every 2 months in the future. The weight has also dropped from 122 pounds to 121 pounds from 144 pounds previously. And one day, my dad joked, your waist is showing again. In my memory, my mother has always had a bucket waist. How could I imagine she used to have a small waist when she was young? After losing weight, there was not a trace of wrinkles on her face. Her complexion got better instead. The big dark spot on her left cheek disappeared, and her skin became rosy, and her lips were always red. And no one thinks my mom is a Filipino anymore, and she's often asked if she wears lipsticks. Also, I remember my mother always fell ill for no reason whenever she was walking in her 50s. But recently, she accidentally tripped over the high concrete steps twice while walking. The 88-year-old staggered a few steps and stopped without falling because Energy Bagua has made her legs and feet stronger, and she has now a better balance. So now, my mother has been practicing Energy Bagua for almost 4 years. The original purpose is to avoid an amputation, but she did not expect to get so many benefits. High cholesterol, transaminase, the high blood pressure are all back to normal. Fatty liver has disappeared. Nodular erythema no longer occurs. Legs no longer hurt. She now sleeps soundly and her hands were warm. The eyes were clear and bright. And she no longer suffers from allergic rhinitis. And there are so many benefits. More than a month ago, in order to sponsor the building of the San Francisco Zen Center, I invited the real Firestone called Miracle by Master. Because since I follow Master, too many miracles has happened to me and my family. I cannot finish telling you all the benefits. Energy Bagua alone allowed my mother to be reborn. Taking Energy Bagua not only cures her from the 3 highs, it has also solved so many diseases. Thank you, Master, for teaching us Energy Bagua. So she actually needed to almost install a pacemaker in her heart. So she suffered from rheumatoid arthritis. In fact, her legs were getting rotten as well. So she, being a doctor herself, was unable to cure herself. So initially, she was very persistent not to do Energy Bagua because she's actually a Christian. But eventually, in order to avoid amputation of her legs, she tried Energy Bagua and miracles started to happen. Just now we have seen the picture that the legs were rotting. But because of Energy Bagua, it has recovered. And she became more confident and continued going for practicing Energy Bagua. And after practicing Energy Bagua for around 1.5 years, all her health indicators went back to normal. So in the past, she always had to take medication. So even her liver has also recovered. The rashes she gets from arthritis has also improved. So now even her hands are warm. Her eyes are now sharper and clearer. Even the complexion has got better. So even for the old lady, she now has a nice waistline. She must be overjoyed. So just with Energy Bagua, the 3 highs has recovered from the 3 highs. I'm thinking about this. When Jesus loves everyone, so of course, Jesus will also love to see everyone being healthy. You need to have a life to have a religion. So most important is to save the life.
就可以正常走路了。对，哎呀，我觉得这个八卦内功救了这个老妈妈。
I find that Bagua, Energy Bagua has saved this old lady.
真的是重获新生了。
So if like she's 88 years old and she's like reborn again.
是好好来修啊。
So come and practice Energy Bagua regardless of what's your
你
religion.
就信八卦了哈。
对，
这带给你的起死回生的效果。
You will also benefit from it.
老妈妈肯定在家偷偷后悔，说我要早知道这么好，我少受那么多。
So the old lady must be regretting she should have tried it earlier.
那我们
If she had
送她个礼物
believed her
哈
daughter and tried Energy Bagua earlier, she would have less sufferings.
这个年龄这么受益哈，真是替她开心哈
I'm。happy that she's benefiting so much,
祝你
even
健
at her
康
age.
长寿
So wishing her longevity
到感恩
and
再带
auspiciousness.
上这个美美的丝巾走八卦哈，哇
She can bring this scarf along when she practices Energy
接下来
Bagua.
是来自于美国的啊，是来自于
Next,
洛杉矶的
We have a sharing
他感恩师父
from
师父
Bei
带
Zhou
给我
from Los
自己的
Angeles.
人生尊贵的师父，我是弟子贝州，来自
Venerable
美国
Master, I'm disciple Bei Zhou from San Diego, USA. I want to report to Master the story of how my whole family changed their destiny after becoming a disciple, learning from Master, and through chanting. I'm 65 years old. My ancestral home is in Fujian, and I was born in Vietnam. I'm a Chinese Vietnamese American. I've lived a life of ups and downs since I was born, and I've experienced many lives and deaths during the Vietnam War against Chinese. My parents died young. I was the only girl among the 4 siblings, and I didn't get married until I was 29 to support my younger brothers. After coming to the United States, I was unfamiliar with the place and I could not speak English. So I went to work for my husband's brother's restaurant in Florida.
先生做厨师，我做帮厨。
My husband's brother doesn't pay any wages, but he takes care of the food and lodging and will share dividends at the end of the year. My husband was a chef and I'm a kitchen assistant, receptionist, cleaning, and I do everything else, working for more than 10 hours a day. But after a year, my brother-in-law used the reason that the restaurant did not make money and didn't pay us any dividends, so we could only suffer from dumb losses. Later, we moved to other restaurants to work until we eventually opened our own restaurant. For 10 years, we worked without a day off. Both my son and daughter grew up in the restaurant. My daughter is 8 years older than my son. During the winter and summer vacations, the older sister takes care of the younger brother at home. When I go out in the morning, the children are still sleeping. When we come back at night, the children will have fallen asleep. We worked so hard, but we didn't make any money. In order to take care of the children, I have to work in an electronics factory for a stable 9-to-5 job. 10 years ago, I formally became a disciple. I studied Buddhism from Master and understood a lot of the truth. I also like to chant to Buddha, as it makes me feel calm, and the hardship in life is due to the lack of merits. So I followed Master's guidance and constantly accumulating merits through small little deeds. Gradually, I feel that life is getting smoother, and I got to know more and more from my sincere and kind devotion without expecting anything in return. Before I knew it, my weak body became stronger, and the family income increased steadily. My daughter graduated from Columbia University School of Medicine in New York with a scholarship. When she returned to San Diego, she found a job as an intern in the hospital. This year, my son also received a scholarship and was admitted to the University of California, Los Angeles, where he majored in electrical engineering. Chanting has made me more energetic and responsible, and unknowingly became the backbone of my husband's and my native family. They consult us on all major, big and small matters, and we are constantly invited to attend the relatives and friends' weddings all over the world. It seems that with our presence and help, the wedding has become more auspicious and complete. I believe that if one person practices Buddhism, the whole family will benefit. I've insisted on praying for my family and friends for many years, and it has achieved results. I also want to tell Masters, after chanting and reciting Buddha's name, the feng shui of my house has also changed. There are several fruit trees planted at the backyard of my house, and I have no time to take care of them because of my busy work schedule. These fruit trees has also become common in Southern California. When the harvest comes, I will share them with other people. Jujubes, loquats, oranges, bawex, apples, oranges. Everyone says they are delicious and the taste is different from the stores. They also come to my backyard to check and see what special fertilizer was being used. At first, I thought everyone was just being polite, but it wasn't until a relative drove 20 hours back and forth from San Francisco every year just for the jujubes and oranges in the backyard that I believed that everyone really liked it. At first, I also thought that it would be like this only when there's good years. But I didn't expect that every year is a good year. I didn't fertilize, and I forgot to water it when I was busy. Seeing the fruitful results, I believe that chanting Buddha's name and doing meritorious deeds every day, all things will be bathed in the blessing of the Buddha's light. Every morning at 4 o'clock, I get up to go to work. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I go home and practice Energy Bagua in the backyard. And every day I'm busy from morning to night. No one can see that I'm already a person in my 60s. Even my husband is surprised. Every day, you don't say a word and you take care of everything in the home and outside in an orderly manner. Where do you get so much energy? In fact, this is the result of the blessing of Buddha. I used to suffer from injuries all over the body. When I was young, I overworked and fell ill. I gave birth at the age of 32 and there was no postpartum care. In my 40s, I was like an old lady with white hair, hunchback, pain in the cervical and lumbar spine, and the surrounding muscles and bones are like a piece of iron, cold and hard. Taking Energy Bagua and chanting Buddha's mantra made me rejuvenated, and my back gradually straightened up. The bones and muscles that has become stiff and cold became now warm and flexible. I offer flowers and fruits in front of the statues of the medicine Buddha and Master all year round. I also use my own dates to dry to make fresh date paste mooncakes and offer them to the Buddhist practitioners. Everyone praised the colorful longevity noodles I made for Master's birthday. Doing these things make me feel particularly happy and at ease. I love Master. Thank you, Master. The compassionate Buddha light has illuminated my life. So for 10 years of the restaurant business, they have never rested a day. But ever since she got to know about Master, she has been chanting and doing good merits deeds. And the two children have all graduated from popular universities. And even her health, she feels more energized and healthier. And it's like everyone will ask her for advice. It shows that she has got wisdom. Master has once mentioned about who is the voice of the family. It's the person who has the greatest wisdom. All the people in the family are well blessed by Buddha, and they have very smooth lives, and even the fruits in the backyard are growing so well. So initially she thought that people were just being kind by saying that she has got good fruits in her garden.
你看整个一个家族的主心骨哈，没错，就是大家呢，这个不是选举出来的，对，就是慢慢有点事儿，等和师姐聊一下之后，就觉得哎开心了，是这个问题就解决了。
After chatting with her, you realize that
给师姐聊一会儿之后，觉得没问题了。
Sometimes, when you're feeling down, you chat with her, and you feel happier.
对，整个家庭呢，你看他们其实，他是华人嘛。
They are all Chinese. They are Vietnamese Chinese who have gone through the Vietnam War. And they went to America to go to the husband's brother, and yet they didn't pay them any money. Actually, these are all tests to her practice. So in terms of a disaster, sometimes you cannot rely solely on your family.
对呀，他学了之后，你看他都是以德报怨哈。
You can see that she treated other people with kindness.
做功德回向，对对，所以不光他自己这个小家很幸福。
So that's why not only her own family has benefited, the extended family has also benefited with her great merits.
是的，像这样的我们经常有听到，就来禅堂的师姐们哈，修一段时间，跟师父学一段时间之后。We
have often heard stories and sharings about a lot of masters' disciples after practicing for some time, and when they go home, other people ask them for advice.
真是不错哈。
对，师姐其实写的也是，其实挺朴实无华的，但是我们知道她真的，她可能在生活中有无数的这些小事哈，都是用了师父的这些佛法哈。
I believe that from her many little things that happen in her life, she has used Master's teachings and handled them to deal with the situations that she has faced.
就是在法照前供养供果呀，她是心里是非常幸福的，在这样做，每天都在佛光
So every day,
真好。
when she offers fruits to the Buddha, she does that with a very full of gratitude.
真是美美的哈。
So let us give her a beautiful scarf, wishing her that she will have longevity and will everything be smooth in her life. So next we have another sharing from Taiwan. Hello Master, I'm Yi Zhonghan from Taiwan. I'm 63 years old this year. When I played golf more than 10 years ago, I sprained my right waist, which made me unable to stand for a long time. As long as I stood for an hour, my waist and thighs would get very sore and I couldn't sit on the chair without a backrest. I could only take muscle relaxants to relieve the pain. A friend of mine recovered his health by practicing Bagua after a small stroke, which inspired me a lot. So I searched for Energy Bagua related videos from Grandmaster JinBodhi YouTube channel and followed Mysterious Energy Bagua episode 1 to 6 for self-learning. Immediately the next day, on the 3rd of September 2022, I started to walk Energy Bagua at Da'an Forest Park every afternoon. After only 2 weeks of Energy Bagua, my waist, which was sprained more than 10 years ago, was 60% healed. And the pain was not so much that I can turn my waist. I don't need any more muscle relaxants. And after more than 3 months of Energy Bagua, the back pain was completely healed and I can stand for a long time, and now I can even play golf. Another benefit is that many men have prostate problems when they reach a certain age, and they experience problems urinating, and they always still leak urine even after urination. Unexpectedly, after practicing Energy Bagua for a month, I'm able to urinate normally and there was no leakage of urine after urinating. Another great benefit for me is quitting smoking. I had the habit of smoking for 40 years. And on October 26, I started to attend the fitness class of Bodhi Meditation. Before the first day of the class, I smoked 2 cigarettes. In the first 3 days of the course, because of the 2 cigarettes I smoked, I was tortured physically and mentally, and I felt very uncomfortable. What was even more painful is that when I return home after class, I dare not smoke cigarettes, and when I see them, I can only smell or touch them. When I think about returning to company when I go back to work, when my colleagues and my clients ask me to smoke, the inner struggle will make me more uncomfortable than the physical pain. During the training process, what made me feel most uncomfortable was during Master's blessing. When Master said, "Come out, come out," I could smell the smell of cigarettes. And the clothes that day were all new, fresh. Yes, the smell of cigarettes does not come from the clothes. After the blessing, I feel my lungs were so refreshed. The torture of the 8 days smoking cessation process has made me feel that the cigarette was very easy to pick up, but very difficult to put down. In class, I also welcome the golden medicine Buddha and make a vow in front of the Buddha that I will never smoke for the rest of my life. I hope that medicine Buddha can bless me to achieve my wish to quit smoking. It's been 4 months now, and I've never smoked a cigarette. I'm really grateful to Master. I also want to tell Master from the bottom of my heart that my life was given by my parents 60 years ago, and Master will be my reborn parents 60 years later. Thank you, Mr. Master. Thank you, Grandmaster JinBodhi. So he plays golf, and we know that people who play golf, it's very easy to sprain the waist. And by having that sprain on his back, he suffered for more than 10 years. He always needed to sit with a backrest. And he always has to take muscle relaxants in order to relieve the pain. But after practicing Energy Bagua, with just around 100 days or around 3 months, his back has recovered. And he could move at ease and get back to playing golf again. And he went back to playing golf again. You have to be careful, you shouldn't keep playing golf so much. He's a man with character. Actually, it may be better to come and do volunteer work, practice greater illumination meditation, and go for Energy Bagua rather than going for golf. So he has smoked for more than 40 years, but he has quit smoking now. I can feel that he's a man of character. Whatever people think that he shouldn't do, he will do it. After the health and fitness class, just over 8 days, he managed to quit smoking, and now it's been more than 100 days. Let's congratulate him. We have also did some research about lung cancer. For those who smoke versus those who do not smoke, what has a higher tendency of getting lung cancer? There's a research being done. There's around less than 20% of people who are non-smokers who get lung cancer, whereas the rest, more than 80%, are actually smokers who get lung cancers. So on cigarette boxes, we can actually see pictures which are very scary to show you about what happened when a person gets lung cancer. So for him right now, after going for the health and fitness meditation class, after learning greater illumination meditation, even when he sees the cigarettes or when he holds the cigarettes, he will feel uncomfortable. So I've interacted with another of Master's disciple before. He went for Bagua, Energy Bagua for 10 days, and he quit his smoking for 50 years of smoking. He said ever since he practiced Energy Bagua, he just didn't have the intention. He doesn't want to smoke at all. So there's another testimonial. Another Dharma sister from Jiaolai, Malaysia. So over there, people all smoke, regardless of whether they are men or women. So when they are 8 or 9 years old, they have started the habit of smoking. Only when they are pregnant that they will endure and not smoke. But the moment they gave birth, they will start smoking again. So they were very badly addicted to smoking. So when she attended the health and fitness class, she goes to the toilet and smoked. But the moment she started smoking her cigarette, she felt that it was very uncomfortable. So she thought that there was something wrong with that box of cigarettes that could have gone bad. So she bought another new pack of cigarettes and tried smoking. And she also felt very uncomfortable when she tried to smoke the cigarette. So from then on, she kicked the bad habit of smoking. It's quite a miracle. So this has helped to reduce the potential of many candidates of lung cancer.
上头可以更换的过滤网。
那个烟油子啊。
如果就是说哈，你就是每天并不是一日三餐都做饭哈，就是说，比如说2天做1顿饭。
对。
For example，
你这个抽油烟机那个上头呢，那个油哈。
If you look at the cooker,
存了大约半斤或
the house in your home, right? The whole cooker food, when you cook like a few days. Once or twice every few days, you can look at your cooker and you realize that how dirty it is. So let us compare it back to smoking a cigarette. If you have smoked it for more than 10 years, you can imagine how bad your lungs are. So when you smoke, where do you think all the bad toxins has gone? It will all accumulate into the lungs. So when you think about it, it's very scary.
所以这个易先生不是在禅堂里边被师父那个音乐加持的时候嘛？
So that's why when he was receiving the blessings from Master's music, he could actually smell cigarettes, the smell of cigarette. But it wasn't from his clothes because he's wearing fresh clothes. So it's like the bad toxins from his body, from his lungs, was being emitted out. So some people also get secondhand smoke, but it's also very bad for health. So when others were helping one of the disciples to do blessing, they could smell the cigarette smell coming out from the person.
他说人到中年啊，我们也不太清楚，说男性到中年啊，经常容易漏尿。
And they were saying that for men, after reaching middle age, there's a higher tendency of urine leakage. After 40 to 50 years old, men have this tendency of urine leakage. Actually, this is regardless of men and women, because our body or organs will degenerate over time.
他就是近1年来啊，他每一次去小便呢，就觉得就是好像就是小不干净啊。
So for him, whenever he goes to pass urine, he will feel that it's not empty.
就上个电梯都会紧张。
So when he gets excited, there's a tendency of urine leakage.
就是这种情况也确实造成很多尴尬。
So it caused a lot of inconvenience.
漏尿这个问题啊，男女都有哈。
Actually, men and women suffer from urine leakage problem.
从中医学来说，其实就是你的能量。
From the perspective of TCM, it's like the energy is unable to control the organ.
hold 住是个英文的词哈。
对，就是
应该怎么说呢？是掌控哈。
对。
就是你的身体能量就不能够自然的。
It's like your energy is not able to naturally control the organs.
所以你说，你去小便就觉得完了。
So sometimes you go to pass urine, you think that you have emptied your bladder, but after a while, there's urine leakage again. It's just like the closing is not good. It's urinary incontinence.
就是你心脏有时候跳和不跳。
对，
根据心情来决定。
就有时候就叫早搏嘛，有的时候心脏会就是少跳一下，就是少跳一下。
So some they have like missing beats of the heart, irregularities. Or palpitations could also be caused by the energy.
也就是说，这个能量低了之后，你的身体的内内外外的。
So actually, when the energy is of a lower, it will affect your inner organs, the functions of the inner organs as well.
那什么方法对他最有效呢？
So what's the best method for him?
对，
1个月。
Energy Bagua.
所以我
Do
们
it
一
for
说
at
八
least a
荒内
month.
功，说起来说，哎，这人真会宣传哈，什么都加在八荒内功上。
So people may think that
其
everything
实
we
我也
relate
懂
back
得
to
就
Energy
类似所
Bagua.
谓行销学哈。我们说这么多，你就不是说它只对关节炎有效，大家说治人他治关节炎，它就容易宣传。为什么我们像傻子一样？怎么八荒内功怎么解决了那么多人的问题啊？
Why do we say that Energy Bagua is good for all the different
你又不
problems?
能编谎啊，对不对？它真是这么有效。
It is really
它
that
有它的
effective.
原理可以引起大家的思考。对，首先一个就是说让你能量增强。
It increases your
像灯泡
energy.
一样，该自然亮自然亮。像一个特别勤快的人一样，该几点钟起床就几点钟起床。你的腿脚不好使是能量的原因。
If your legs do not function well, it could be due to the lack of energy.
对不对？它是首先第一个这个作用，之后在走的过程之中哈，还有个康复作用。
So through the process of Energy
这个康复的
Bagua,
作用
there's also a
哈
recovery
等
stage.
等有空的时候，专门把它这个康复作用的大概概念再给大家介绍。
Next time, I will
就当
go
做一个
into
谜
deeper
哈。
details about this recovery stage of the Energy
总之反
Bagua.
正就是走就好了。哎
So most important is that keep walking, go for Energy
身体就
Bagua
各项
practice,
受益可能
and
有一些都
your
是自己
body
根本
will
没有预料的。
receive the positive effects.
好，送易先生啊一个八卦的一个
So
外
let
套
me
哈
give him
多漂亮，
a
这是戴
Bagua
帽子的
jacket.
哈。
对，非
这戴
常
帽子
方便。
This comes with a hood.
舒服的穿上，
对，什么季节都能穿哈
You。can wear it for all
春夏秋
seasons.
冬
棉的，这我们设计的可
纯棉的
漂亮了。哎，后头还有
It
字儿。
has a very beautiful design, and there's actually words behind.
对，八卦走一走
对，
Energy
你看
Bagua.
来到
，Energy
真是的
八卦，
啊
对
对，
这是师傅亲笔
Practice
提的。
Energy Bagua every day, and you can live up to 99 years old.
祝易先生健康长寿，
收
Wishing
到
him
天天快乐
happiness。and health
收到，感恩
and
师傅
happiness every day.
接下来是我们来自韩国的哈。
Next
一
we
位
have
师兄
a sharing
金然师兄。
by
他
Jing
呢我
Ran
们听听他的这个故事
brother
吧。尊敬的师傅
from
您好，
Korea.
我是来自于韩国
Dear
鞍山
Master,
禅堂的金
I'm
然，
Jing Ran
今
from
年64
Anshan
岁。我原来的职业
Meditation
是
Center in
射
South
箭
Korea.
运动员教
I'm
练。
64 years old. I
12
used to be
年
a
前我得
coach.
了前列腺癌，去医院
12 years
做了手
ago,
术
I got
不久后
prostate
再次
cancer,
复发，又
and I
做了
went to the
放射线的
hospital
治
for
疗，
surgery.
这让我的身
It
体受
recurred
到了
soon
严重
after,
的
and I
损
had
耗，
radiation
经常会
therapy.
有胸闷、
This
呼
caused
吸
serious
困难，
damage to my
严重的
body,
时候
and
就
I
要
often
叫
has
急救
chest
车
tightness
送
and
到医院里
difficulty
抢救。
breathing. The
还留
ambulance
下了
sent
严
me
重
to
的
the
膀胱
hospital
炎后遗症，
for
经
emergency
常会
treatment,
漏
and I
尿
also
导致
suffered
失
from
禁，
severe
所以我一直都是要
sequelae
穿纸
of
尿裤。
cystitis,
为此我不敢
often
跟朋友们
leaking
聚会，也
urine
不
and
敢出远门，
incontinence.
心情一
So
天
I
比
wear
一天低
diapers
落，
all the time.
身体状况越
For
来越
this
差。
reason, I dare
为
not
了
hang
增
out with
加
my
营养，
friends
通
or
过
travel
先前
far.
每
The
天
mood
吃
is
大鱼
getting
大肉，
down,
再喝点小酒。
and the physical condition is
这
getting
样一
worse.
来呢，我的
In
血
order to
糖
increase
值
nutrition and
就不
calm
断
the
地上
mind
升，
and
一
my
直上
mood,
升到
I
接近
feast on a lot
17
of
了，
fish and
而
meat
正常
every
值
day,
是
together with some
6.1以下
alcohol.
哈。
But
我觉
in
得
this way,
全
my
身
blood
无力，
sugar
无精
level
打采，
began to
我的
rise
头都抬不起
continuously
来。
until it was close to 17
到了医院呢，医
millimoles
生
per
说我的情
liter.
况非常危险，
I
再持
felt
续
weak
下去
and
就
listless,
会
and I
引
couldn't
发
even
尿
lift
毒
up
症
my
和
head.
昏厥了。
When I
让我
arrived
马
at the
上住院治
hospital,
疗。
the doctor
我
said that
住
my
院了
condition
2
was
个
very
星期，
dangerous.
出院的时
If
候
I
呢，医生
continued,
给我开了
it would
很
lead
多
to
药，
uremia
每
and
天要吃
fainting.
9粒
I
药，
was required
就
to
这么
take
一
to
大
be
把一大把
hospitalized
的吃
immediately
药，
for
可
2
是还
weeks,
是没有
and
太
I
大
need to
的
take
效果。
medication
我
before
的空腹
meals,
血糖值
and I need to
还
take
是
9
维持在
pills each
15
day.
左右，
I take
离这
medication
个
one
正
by
常
one
值
every
6.1
day,
啊，还是
but
很远
it
的。
still doesn't have
严
much
重的
effect.
时候呢，还要
The
打胰
fasting
岛
blood
素。
sugar was still around
医生
50
呢要我
millimoles
改
per
变饮食
liter,
习
and
惯，
the
不要再吃甜食
insulin
了，让我
should
吃
be
粗粮，
injected in
我
severe
都照
cases.
做了。后
The
来我
doctor
又戒
asked me
掉
to
了
change
吸
my
烟的
eating
习惯，
habits,
也不
not
喝
to
大
eat
酒
sugar
了，
or
偶尔
sweet,
和朋友
and not
相
to
聚
eat
也
coarse
就是小酌
grains,
一下，
and I followed
吃
suit.
清淡的饭
Later,
菜，
I quit
但是
smoking
血
and
糖
also
还
stopped
是
drinking
忽高忽
alcohol.
低。
Occasionally,
持
I
续
would
8
drink
年
with my
多了，
friends and eat a
后来
light
我的
meal,
视力也越
but
来
the
越
blood
差，
sugar was still
看什么都很
fluctuating.
模糊。
It
眼
lasted
科
for
医
more than
生
8
说，
years, and then
视
my
力模
vision
糊是
became
因为
worse,
血糖太
and
高导致
everything I
的。
saw
如
became
果我的血
blurry.
糖不能很好
The
地控制，再
ophthalmologist
继续
said
下
that
去，
the
我
blood
的眼睛
vision
就
was
会
called
失明了。
by the too high blood sugar. If my blood sugar cannot be well controlled, my eyes will eventually go blind. Upon hearing this, my heart felt worse. In those days, I thought desperately every day. I was originally an athlete, and my body used to be very healthy. But in this situation, what's the meaning of living life like this? How many more years will I suffer? I even thought of killing myself to end the pain. My friend is a Bodhi disciple from Anshan Meditation Hall. His Dharma name is Lan Ji. In September 2022, he looked for me after hearing about my situation and asked me to practice Energy Bagua with him. I was an athlete coach. I didn't believe that exercise can control cancer cells and lower blood sugar. How can walking around the trees cure diseases that cannot be cured by the hospital? I've been always walking in the park and doing simple exercises all year round, but yet I couldn't escape being troubled by diseases. Brother Lan Ji patiently persuaded me many times and told me about his own miraculous effects. He was a patient with advanced gastric cancer. When his life was about to come to an end, it was Energy Bagua that brought him back to life and gave him a new life. With an attitude of giving it a try, I followed him to the Bagua point in Anshan Ancient Park to learn how to go and practice Energy Bagua. Initially, I couldn't persist on, so I had to take a break after walking for a while. My Dharma brothers and sisters at the Bagua point were very enthusiastic and continued to encourage me to continue. After I went for Energy Bagua for a week, I felt that my mood has improved and my body began to feel more relaxed. And after 2 weeks, the blood sugar level gradually dropped from 15 to 13 millimoles per liter. And I was happy and I saw hope. I started to practice Energy Bagua harder without a break all day. After 2 months of Energy Bagua, my blood sugar dropped to around 8 millimoles per liter and my confidence became stronger. After 3 months, it dropped to below 7 millimoles per liter, and after 5 months, it remained at 6.1 millimoles per liter. And it's been 7 months now, and the blood sugar has not increased and has remained normal. This is a goal that I didn't expect to be able to achieve at all. Not only did the blood sugar drop, the urinary incontinence and leakage of urine has also greatly improved. What surprised me the most is that when I went to the hospital to check for prostate cancer cells, the PSA value was close to 0. My eyesight has also improved a lot, and I can now drive out and enjoy the scenery by myself. This is unbelievable. And my attending physician also thought that it was amazing and asked me what method I used that worked so well. I told the doctor that my friend took me to practice Energy Bagua around the tree every day, and the doctor was very happy to see that I recovered so quickly. Hope I keep going. I feel much younger all of a sudden, and I have great hope of living. I saw the light in my life. All of this is thanks to Grandmaster JinBodhi for imparting such a great Energy Bagua to everyone. Thanks again to the distinguished Grandmaster JinBodhi. Thank you, Jingran. So 12 years ago, he suffered from prostate cancer, and he did surgery, and it has a recurrence. So he had to go for radiation therapy. So actually, he is feeling very uneasy all year round. So one of the side effects of prostate cancer is that you get urinary incontinence. So he even have to wear diapers. So in order to replenish his energy, he feasted on a lot of meat and fish and even drink alcohol. So he was thinking that he can help the body recover by giving it more nutrients. So some people, after they suffer from certain major illness, they start to have this thought: what's the point of not eating? May as well I enjoy myself and enjoy all the food that I like. So that's what he did. So normally when people doing such things, they are actually feeling very lost for hopes.
个很大的反差，因为他是年轻时候是运动员，后来
For
做教
him,
练
it's a very great difference because when he was young, he was actually an athlete. He was actually a coach.
瞄准似的。
He was physically very
眼睛
fit.
特别好。
对，所以眼睛不大的人特别适合射击之类
You
的。
see, his eyes is very small, so people like this are very good for archery.
是，
眼神也是，
对对
没事就想瞄准。
So people with very small eyes, they can
射箭冠军
aim very accurately.
射击
射击冠军。
So he was once an archery champion.
好像是都是这样的眼睛，一
对
个，小缝缝。
所以小眼睛的人不要自卑。
So people with small eyes, do not worry.
天生我材必有用。
对，
You are
所
also
以金先
talented.
生我也真的能很理解他，年轻的时候运动员，身体棒棒哒。
So
哈
when he was young, he used to be very fit and
哎呀
healthy.
这个被拖累的呀。这
So
身
when
体
he
乱
got
糟
older, when he started to fall
尤
sick,
其
he
是
feels
他说
very
到一个
upset.
概念哈，
嗯，
他说，你看我得这个病，我本身就是运动员出身，
对，
你今天我的老朋友你来叫我去在
So he was
树下
thinking,
走
I was
圈儿溜达
originally an
他不相
athlete,
信。
我还
and now
经
my
常在
old
跟他
friend, you're
散步
asking me
呢
to
我
go
也
and
是
walk
个
around the
运动
tree
对呀，我就运动出
to
身
gain
的。
energy.
呀
I'm an athlete
忙谁
myself.
呀你啊
对，运动我怎么没听说？
Why haven't I heard about this before?
对对对对。
但是他老朋友说呢，
嗯
他也不是完全不信哈，他心里想怎么可能？
He was
那也太不可
It's
思
not
议
that he
了吧
totally didn't believe what his friend told him. He just find it
没有理论
very
支持啊
difficult to believe it from his
老朋友用自己的
ideas.
亲身经历去跟他分享，说你看胃癌晚期走八卦好
对
了。
对，
这两
So
个
his
人
friend
本身就是
who was also suffering from late
所
stage
以这个也
cancer,
是打动了
and
他哈
with
这个
Energy
金所
Bagua,
在
he has
啊
recovered.
这个金先
So
生
with
自己跟
his
着走
sincere
过
sharing,
嗯
it
一
touched
走，
金
哎
然
就可见到好
and he
处了
started to go for
首
Energy
先他
Bagua
的
as
这
well.
个本来糖尿病视力都开始模糊了，都有失明危险
So
性是很
initially
高
his
了哈。
vision was
因为走
getting
八卦走了
blurry
5个
and was
月，血
almost
糖
going to
完全
have
恢复正常了。
the trouble
他
of
是
losing his
8年
eyesight.
多的糖尿病，
对
啊，仅用了5个月的时间
With
全都
just
恢
5
复正常了
months,
正常指标正常
his high blood
他那个
sugar went
症
back to
状
normal.
眼睛以前都视力都模糊
So his eyes
医生
was
都警
getting
告他
blurry.
再这样下去就失明了。
是
If it
人家现
continued,
在
he would lose his
失
vision.
明眼亮，
But now
开车出
his
去看
eyes
风景
are very bright and
你说这
clear
个
again,
血
and
压
he can
问题
even drive
三
and
高问
enjoy
题
the
哈
scenery.
还没有办法说用一招就把它弄掉了，没有。
有啊，八卦内功啊，
我是说医学上来说，
没有啊。
是
In
吧
medical
不是说
terms,
这有病把它切
for
了就
people
好
who
了
have the three
你
highs,
说
there's
你血压
no
高切
one
哪里
method that can actually help to
切心脏
resolve this.
啊，切心脏人就没了。
还是血压高，咱需要血
对
液。
是，
对，
哎，
这个
没办法。
是没办法。对。但是这个你看，就是八卦内功有办法嘛。
So Bagua Negong,
这个金
Energy
先生肯
Bagua
定
is
没想
able
到
to
肯
help
定
to
没想
tackle
到
all the
结
three
果这个
highs
5个
and
月
the
哈，这
other
个血
health
糖都全都正常
problems
了
that people face.
然后又去检查嘛，那癌指数
When
几
he
乎
went
就
for
是
a
零
checkup,
啊
his cancer
好了，
actually went down to
真的
zero,
这
the
种
cancer
康复的
indicator.
坚持走，
多
就一直
好啊
健康
对
长寿。
啊
他那
So
个
when he
癌指数
continues
是
practicing
0，你还
Bagua
能说
every
这
day,
有癌吗？
he gets
没有
healthier.
呀
对不对？
对呀，
哎，对，它是0了，就是没有了。
So his
哎
cancer,
然后
prostate
他还
cancer
会再
indicator
坚
actually
持
went
啊
down to
当时
zero.
那个副作用，那个漏尿的那个也大为改善。
And
啊
even his
对
urinary
过去低
incontinence
时低现在
has
半
also
低
improved.
啊，对吧？那就几乎没有啊。
是，
对，他因为他做那个手术嘛，
对，
他那个手术的部分呢，就是伤到了这个控制小便液体的那个
Because
开
when
关
he
那个
did the
点
prostate cancer
对
surgery, it could have
对
affected the
对
control of the urine as
后
well.
见的副作用，
对，
That's
但
a
是也
side
好
effect
多
of the
了啊
哎呀好
surgery.
多了。
So now
一
it
下
has
子这个生
improved
命
with
又有
Energy
信心了
Bagua.
对，
啊，一
So
下子就
once
光
again,
明
he
了
has gained
啊
confidence
尤
towards
其他
life.
讲到哈，他可以自己开车逛风景了。
He mentioned that he
之
can
前
now
呢
drive on his own to
之前门儿
enjoy
都
the
没有啊
scenery.
然后眼睛也
So
看不
before
见
that,
哪能
because
开
his
车呀
vision was
之
getting
前他就
blurry,
自己
he
往外
didn't
走
dare
路
to
很
go
困难
out.
对，
不敢呐，
走到哪儿还得带着纸尿裤，
生怕一脚给踩空了，
是
又穿个纸尿裤。
眼睛又
And
看
he was
不
wearing
见
diapers, he's so afraid of going
啊
out.
曾
你是
经
小孩儿啊，半岁以内弄个纸尿布没事儿。你说你是老大不小了，都有纸尿布，说自己那个信心哈
对
没有了。
When an adult wears the diapers, it affects the confidence level.
再有高血压，还经常头昏。
And on top of that, he had high blood
怎么敢开
pressure
车
and
呀？
high blood
哎
sugar, and he
现
gets
在可以
blurry
开车
vision.
了。
对，
哎呀
So it
所以让
affected
他
his
一下就
confidence,
看到了人生
and
的
he didn't
精
dare
彩
to go
是
out. He
是
felt very lost about
真是
life.
替他高兴。
哎呀，恭喜
So now
他
we are
哈
very happy for him.
全师傅八卦
I'd like to
太棒了太棒
congratulate
了
him.
给他也送一个礼物，
我送他一个 咱们定制的哈，大号的铜质的金刚杵。
So we'll give him
对，让他就是遇难成祥哈。
this item,
让他这一
wishing
帆
him
风顺，还要避开无论是疾病还是
auspiciousness
什么邪气
to
哈
evade
对
all
还有
evils
长命百岁哈。
and to have a long life, to have a longevity.
还有呢，
This is
就
the
是送
Vajra
给介绍
pestle.
他来修炼的他的老
And
朋友
also to his
蓝
friend
界
who
师
has
兄哈
recommended him
好
to
送给你
practice
哈
Energy
云
Bagua.
端
This
普
is
洱
for
茶
him.
一饼哈，
太棒了，
祝你健
The
康
Pu'er
长
tea,
寿，
wishing him
收到
long
如意
life
吉祥，
收
and
到。
长命
auspiciousness
百岁。
and
收到
longevity.
感恩
我
师傅。
估计师兄一定会把茶
and
叶
great
带到
health.
八卦点儿，跟大
I'm
家
sure
分
he will
享
bring
的。
this
哎呦，你
太
先给人
宝贵
计划
tea
出来了。
to the Bagua
这么一
point
说
to
吧，他
share
不
with
分也不好意
everyone
思
else.
他肯定去，你看他把八卦那封介绍给大家，他是一个非常慷慨的
乐
His
于
friend
助
is a
人
person who is very kind.
咱们弟子都是这样的，师傅。
We have a lot of disciples who are all very kind-hearted, who are willing to share and share this benefits from the Energy Bagua with more people, hoping that they will all gain health
好，师傅
and
接
well,
着听。
health
啊，接着
and
听。
happiness.
好，师傅，接下来是来自美国洛杉矶一
So
位
next
如伦师兄他也是一位非常有趣的分享师傅哈。他说新年的时候听说
We
师
have
傅要
Rulun
亲自为我
from
们上
Los
头香，
Angeles.
弟子
Hello,
很激
Master.
动。
My name is
看到
Rulun
师
from
傅
Los
新年头
Angeles.
香的祈
During
福
the
内
new
容
year,
后，
when we
弟
heard
子
that
更是
Master will
激动了，
personally burn the
因为
first
在新
incense
年
for
祈
us,
头香的祈
this-
福内容
we were
里
all
有
very
一项是
excited.
事业兴
The
旺，
disciples were
家
even
宅
more
鼎盛。
excited after
因为
seeing
弟
the
子现
content
在
of
正
the
在读
Master's
研究
prayer
生，
of the New
今
Year's
年正好要毕
incense.
业了。
Among the
因为要找
blessing
工作的问
content
题，
of the New Year's
所以
first
弟子就选
incense,
择了这一
there's one
项。
item
那
which is
说
the
到弟子读
prosperous
研究生
career and
这
prosperous
也要归
family.
功于师
Because
傅
I'm
和
going
佛
to
菩萨的
graduate
加
school
持和
this
护
year,
佑。
I'm facing
记
the
得
problem
那
of
是
finding
疫
a
情刚
job,
开始的第
so
2
I
年，
chose this
弟子
option.
正在参加师
When
傅
it
在
comes to
网
me
络
being
上教
able
授
to
的
go to
念佛
graduate
班。
school,
有一
this
天
is also
跟
due
着
to
师
the
傅念
blessing
佛
and
的时
protection
候，
of
弟子
Master
感觉
and
自己的
Buddha
身
and
体
Bodhisattvas.
像是散
I
发着白
remember that
光
it
的
was the
淡
second
透
day of the
明体，
epidemic.
很是清净自在。
I participated
那
in the
天课程
Buddhist
刚结
chanting
束，
class
我
taught by
老婆
Master
就兴冲
online.
冲地对我
And
说
one day, while
有
following
可
the
以再
Master's
加读研
chanting,
究生
I
的机
felt my
会，
body
并且
became a
有朋友
translucent
已经做了
body
充分的
emitting
研
white
究，
light,
结论
pure
就是
and
呢
at
这个机
ease.
会非常好，
As
还
soon
可
as
以
the
进入
course
大科
ended,
技公司，
my
不
wife
需要电脑专
excitedly
业
told
背
me
景
there's
就
an
可以报
opportunity to
名。
study at home
当时我
as
就
a
心
graduate
想，
student,
这应该是
and
一个
that
基
a
础校
friend
吧，
of
或
hers
者
has
是
done
以赚
sufficient
钱为目的
research.
的短期
The
培训班。
conclusion is that this
后来在老
opportunity
婆的
is
再
very
三
good
催促
to
下，
enter a
研
big
究了一下资料，
technology
发现是正规
company,
大学，
and
其
I can
之
also
中还有
apply
一
it
个是常青
for
藤
the
的。
exam without
可
a
是弟子
computer
的心里
professional
还是不
background.
太确定，
At that
心里
time, I
就嘀咕
thought
着，难道
this
现
should
在
be a
名校
decent
也开始
school
骗钱了？
or a
弟子
short-term
就接着
training
研究，
course for the
才发
purpose
现
of
是
making
在疫
money.
情的背景下，
Later,
很多大
after
学的
the
课程
repeated
都改成
urging
了
of my
虚拟
wife,
的。
I
学生呢
read
可
the
以选择
information and
适合
found that
自
it
己
was
的学
a
习方
regular
式。
university,
长
and
话
one
短
of them
说，
is
后
even
来
an
弟
Ivy
子
League
就顺利
university.
地进入了宾夕法尼亚大学的
I thought
资
to
讯
myself,
技
and I
术专
wasn't
业学
sure.
习。
I
我的
thought
老
to
婆
myself,
有一个
now
朋友
even
也
horse
一起报
famous
了
schools
名，
are
他
starting
的
to
本
cheat
科还
people.
是洛杉矶大学
I continued
加
to
州
read
大学
about
洛
it, to
杉矶分
study
校，就
about
是
it, and
名校
found
毕
out
业
that
的
under
呢。
the
可是
background
他最后
of
都
the
没有被
epidemic,
录取。
many
回头
university
看来
courses
啊，从
have
一
now
开始
changed
弟
to
子跟着
teaching
师傅
methods
网
that
络念
combines
佛，
both
感觉身
virtual
心光明。
and
到
reality.
念完佛后
And
马
students
上
can
老
choose
婆
the
就
learning
送来资
methods that
料，
suits
而且
them.
资料已经是
To
整理
make
研
the
究
long
出了
story
结论，
short,
再加上
I
老
entered
婆
the
再
University
三
of
催促弟子要
Pennsylvania
去
to
报考，
study
最后
information
弟子
technology.
优于比自己
My
更
wife's
好
friend
学
also
历背景
signed
的
up.
朋友被
Her
录取了，
undergraduate
再
degree
加
is
上
from
还能在家
UCLA,
学习
but
照
she
顾小
wasn't
孩家
admitted in
人，
the end.
学费比
Looking
同
back
等
from the
级的名
beginning,
校便宜
when I
1半
found
多。这
followed
整个
Master's
的过
to
程啊，
recite
都让人
Buddha's
感觉是佛菩萨和师
chant,
傅在给弟子
I
指
felt
引
my
前
body and
进的
mind were
方向。
bright. And we finished the chanting. My wife came and delivered the materials, and the materials were already researched and concluded. The admission of a friend with a better academic background. In addition, you can study at home, take care of children and family members, and the tuition fee is more than half cheaper than other prestigious schools of the same level. The whole process makes people feel that Buddha and Bodhisattvas are guiding the direction of my direction. Talking back to the first incense of the Chinese New Year, when I chose the first incense for prosperous career and prosperous family, I have hesitated for several days because I have been studying for more than a year, and 3,008 to me is not a small amount. However, in view of the current economic downturn, major technology companies are laying off employees, and students are about to graduate this year to look for jobs. It seems that the prosperous career and prosperous home first incense was really important to me. After several days of ideological struggle, I decided to follow my feelings. Early in the morning, 2 days before the first day of the lunar Chinese New Year, I woke up and offered the first incense for prosperous career and prosperous family. Unexpectedly, within a few hours of offering the first incense, I received a rent subsidy from the government totaling 3,006. This is an application submitted by me around a year ago, and there was no news, and I had forgotten about it. Unexpectedly, I just made a little offering and got rewarded so quickly. Thank you, Master. Thank you to Buddha and Bodhisattvas. I hope to graduate smoothly this year and find a good job. Thank you, Master.
疫情期间呢，这个职业上、事业上都发生很大的变化啊，都是在家里嘛。对，
So during the
正好就是也是老婆给
pandemic,
送过来了
there's a lot of
消息
changes.
啊，在家里可以读研究生，可以深造，那么以后的事业会更好。那这个消息是怎么送来的呢？是他在网络上跟着师父这个念佛班，哎呀
So he was following Master's online
情
class.
况下，哎，就来了一个好消息。
对，
大家也相信也是佛菩萨的指引，
佛光加持了。
对啊。
It's from the guidance of the Buddha that guided him to even go to a good school to study.
对对对，很顺利的就考上了。考上了呢，那就读到今年的话，就2023年要毕业了。
So this year he's going to graduate.
师父就推出那个新年上头香嘛，他就特别
So in the beginning of the year during Lunar New Year, we actually had the first incense by Master.
也不景气啊，很多科技公司都在裁员。
So now there's a lot of retrenchments for IT companies.
对，他最需要呢又有点囊中羞涩。对，这个钱呢，哎呀。
So he needed the blessings very much, but he felt a little troubled because he was having financial difficulties.
这个头像，结果没想到这个刚花出去这个
But the moment he
收到政府邮件。
decided to go for the first incense, the government immediately sent him back another $3,006 for the offering he made.
政府做了一些事哈，对，可能这个对一些家庭哈，租房子的、付房租的哈，给那个租房补贴。
So during the pandemic, some of the government actually gave a rent subsidy. So while he was lucky, and he received the rent subsidy immediately. So actually he has forgotten about his application because he hasn't heard from them for more than a year.
也就是收到这个钱，并不是你绝对能收到。你要幸运的话收到。
So this amount of money is that he was really lucky to receive it.
对，那么接下来今年毕业之后呢，等于他这个科技管理哈，这个文凭又拿到了，这样为他找工作呢又增加了很多方便性。
So this year he's going to get his degree,
他也点了头香嘛，
which will be going to help him in his career.
对，也很真的是祝福师兄能够顺顺利利的找到一个好工作。
Congratulate him and wish him all the best in his career search.
一个镶银丝的天珠哈，祝你这个
So we'll give him a
事业
tsubi,
呢比较兴盛，
wishing him a smooth sailing career,
祝福你全家呢如意吉祥
and wishing his whole family to be blessed and auspicious.
感恩师父。
好，
师父，今天我们这个给师父汇报的特别多师兄啊，又来了一位哈。
So today we have shared a lot of sharings from all the different male disciples.
跟师父来分享，他是告别痛风，
So now we'll listen to
这样的痛苦。师父好，我叫黄汉明，今年70岁。 从不到20岁开始，我就开始做。
Hello, Master. My name is Huang Hanming. I'm 70 years old. I started doing business when I was less than 20 years old. At that time, I had entertainment almost every day. I called my friends and I ate at many local restaurants and enjoyed all kinds of seafood and meat. It can be said that when there is no meat, no wine, no joy. Sometimes I can eat 4 to 5 meals a day. I was very gluttonous at that time and enjoyed this kind of life very much. When I was 35 years old, I had gout symptoms. Once I went to the restaurant to eat and I just ate a few oysters, which caused my toe to get painful and my heel to be painful as well. After eating, I had to jump out with the other food. Later, the pain and the swelling gradually spread from the toes and heels to the shoulders and joints, and elbow joints and knuckle joints, and the pain became more and more severe, more and more serious. At night, I had to raise my legs and feet to relieve some pain. My urine was full of bubbles, and I couldn't wash it clean even after several times. The bubbles actually shows that the kidney was having problems. So the more bubbles there are, it's actually a reflection of the body health. The frequency of gout attacks became more frequent. At the beginning, it was only once or twice a year. And later, it could be triggered by some kind of improper diet at any time. I tried to control it with drugs, but these drugs only treat the symptoms but not the root cause. They can only temporarily help reduce swelling and relieve the pain, but the side effects were very serious. In addition to nausea, they caused additional damage to the kidneys. Finally, when I was 48 years old, my 2 kidneys failed because of gout. After that, my kidney function deteriorated day by day, and I had to undergo kidney dialysis. I need to manually operate for 2 hours every morning and use the dialysis machine for around 10 hours at night. During the cumbersome procedure, I often felt dizzy, and the process of kidney dialysis will cause bacterial infection if I'm not careful. It was very difficult. However, kidney dialysis did not bring improvement to my 2 kidneys, and finally the doctor suggested I should get a kidney transplant. After 5 years of suffering from kidney dialysis, on December 17, 2006, when I was 53 years old, I finally received a new kidney. The operation was successful at that time, but a week later, a report from the doctor hit me hard. The report showed the index of the kidney function in the blood. Creatinine was 2.46. Generally, the normal value of creatinine in male is 0.8 to 1.2. And when the kidneys suffer from severe lesions, the excretion of creatinine is blocked, and the creatinine content in the blood increases. Therefore, the doctor gave me further tests and found that the kidney function still shows signs of failure. The doctor said that according to my condition at that time, the new kidney could last up to 2 years. The doctor also said that a kidney transplant would not eliminate my gout, and the gout would still occur. At that time, my uric acid index was 11.5 milligrams. The normal value is around 2 to 8.5. After hearing what the doctor said, I was very nervous. So I searched everywhere and tried all possible effective methods to prolong the life of my kidney. The nutritionist advised me to control my diet, maintain a good life pattern, and exercise regularly. I followed the doctor's advice and strictly controlled my diet and work and rest time. I was so careful that I had to weigh the food and look up the nutritional content of every meal. And sometimes I couldn't get enough to eat and I had to suffer from hunger. After persisting in this way for a year, there were some effects. My creatinine index dropped to 2, and the uric acid index also dropped. So I continued to improve my health through strict diet and fitness, protect the kidneys. In this way, I have been cautious for 10 years. Although the index is still outside the normal value, I try my best to stabilize them, and I dare not slack in the slightest. I was always worried that the index will rise again. Before coming to Bodhi meditation in 2016, due to weakened kidney function and malnutrition, my physical condition has become very weak. I was very afraid of cold and get very tired easily. I get tired easily after doing a little work, and I can't walk for a long time because of the lack of physical strength. My feet and face were swollen. My complexion was yellowish, and the complexion was very bad. I was feeling depressed and had no confidence in my body or my future. At the end of March 2016, a friend introduced Bodhi meditation to me. Hearing that many people has benefited from it, I couldn't help but want to try it. 1st of April was the first day I started Energy Bagua. And since then, I've gone to the meditation center to practice Energy Bagua every morning at 5:30, rain or shine. After practicing Energy Bagua for 3 months and practicing prostration and meditation of greater illumination, I went for the blood test. The report showed that my kidney index, creatinine, dropped to 1.37. The uric acid index returned to the normal range, which was incredible. In just 3 months, there is such a great effect, which is what I have dreamt of every day for 10 years. With such an exciting result, I developed greater confidence, so I practiced meditation more diligently, about 5 hours a day, including prostration, Energy Bagua, and meditation of greater illumination. Practice for 3 to 4 hours before going to work, and I continue to practice for 2 hours in the meditation center after work. This persists for several months without missing a single day. At the beginning of the second year, I went for blood tests again and learned that my creatinine index was 1.26 and my uric acid index dropped to 6, all of which were normal within range. It's amazing. After practicing Bodhi meditation, my kidneys returned to normal in just over 8 months. This is a health index I have not achieved in decades. Faced with such great results, doctors also find it incredible. I couldn't help feeling excited. If I had been exposed to Bodhi meditation as early as the early stage of the disease, or even 20 years ago, maybe I would not have to go through the painful process of kidney dialysis or kidney transplant. It has been more than 7 years since I entered Bodhi meditation. Over the past 7 years, daily practice of Bodhi meditation, especially Energy Bagua, has become an essential part of my life. I no longer have to deliberately control my diet with fear. As long as I maintain a normal diet and regular work and rest, my kidney can completely be fine. My body is no longer weak. I'm not afraid of cold. I'm still full of energy to work all day. My mind is clear. My hands and feet are flexible. My face is rosy. My tempo has become gentle. I'm willing to help others. Whenever there's a need, I will do volunteer work in the meditation center. Although I'm 70 years old this year, I feel happier and healthier than I was in my 30s. I just had my physical examination some time ago and all my health indicators were normal. This test result and my state once again made my nephrologist and my family doctor feel unbelievable. It was once recognized by the medical authorities that it can only be used for 2 years. Not only did I use the kidney transplant for 18 years, I've also transformed a failing kidney into a normal one. All the doctors agree that it's a miracle. I know all this happened because Bodhi meditation. I'm very grateful to a wonderful method taught by Grandmaster JinBodhi, which has allowed me to regain my long-lost health and regain my confidence and hope in life. I hope that all those who suffer from illnesses like me can also be as lucky as me and achieve great health and happiness by practicing the wonderful method of Bodhi meditation. Thanks, Master. Actually, in medical terms, there wasn't any hope for him. They can only ask you to go for kidney dialysis whenever there's a kidney failure. Even after going for dialysis, even going for transplant, many people will get rejection. So the doctor has told him before, even after going for the kidney transplant, there's nothing I can do about your gout. It's just like the 3 highs, or smoking, or drinking. It's not that the disease will come suddenly. It's actually a process. It's accumulated over time. The moment you fall, it will never stop. So he was very brave to keep eating.
年纪轻轻，但48岁就后来他的情况就已经告诉了大家哈，对，他变成什么样了？对
What happened to him?
尿出那个小便来哈，这个泡泡粘到那个小便池里头都洗不掉。
The bubbles in his urine was not easy to be removed.
就完了哈。
你说那个时候咱都没法想象了，他换完肾之后，你说都还不行。
Even after the kidney transplant, he was still having health issues.
对，有什么营养
He has to
成分，
watch
就这样
every
还得忍饥挨饿。
food that he eats.
到
He has
最
to
后面
monitor
黄
them
肌
very
瘦，
closely,
那个脸也浮肿，脚也浮肿
watch
的
his very strict
身体
diet,
很虚弱了。
and he was feeling very
希
weak.
望了。
关键医生没办法。
And there was nothing the
美国的
doctors
医
could
学
do
科技
about
够
him.
发达吧？
发达，
Although
对
that's,
对吧？
the
你看
medical
他
has
患了
been very
肾，
advanced,
他也算
but
够幸
yet
运
there
吧？
was nothing that could be
啊
done
对
for him.
还等
换
到了
句话说，也
肾
算有
源呢。
钱吧哈。
对呀，
但是呢，这个病呢没办法，
对，
对
是，
还是咱们八卦内功替他彻底解决
So
问题。
Energy Bagua helped him to solve
先
the
说他
health
那个痛
problems
风
that
的
he
那个
had.
指数就全都正
So
常
over
了，
3 months.
这也太快了吧哈？
对，因为
对
痛风不好吧，它会继续伤肾。
对。
So for
啊
gout,
它这个痛
it
风
will
得到了好，然后
affect the
3
kidneys.
个月8个月之后，肾脏完全康复了。
对
So after 8 months,
你讲一讲哈，
嗯，
the
因为
kidneys
很多人
recovered.
并不了解
嗯
这个痛风和肾脏的关系。
Actually, what is the link between gout
痛
and
痛
kidneys?
风它就是体内其实我们
尿酸
吃什么东西，
对
它因为代谢嘛，代谢之后就形成一些废物，就通过尿液排出去。
对，
其中有一种东西就叫尿酸啊，
There's
它是
something
一
known
种
as a
晶
uric
体
acid.
啊，结晶的那种晶体吧。就是这种尿酸正常的话，就是说，就是那个随着尿液排出去了就没有问题。如果
Uric
排
acid
不出
normally,
去它就在
if they are
身体里
removed,
边随着这个这个
血液
对
到
体液的循环，
对，
哎，它就会固定在那
uric
些
acid
关
is a
节上
metabolite that is excreted by the kidneys. However, when there's too much uric acid that's produced in the body or the kidneys cannot effectively remove the uric acid, the uric acid builds up in the body, forming urate crystals, which deposits around the joints and in the soft tissues, causing pain, inflammation,
嗯，
and joint
然后
damage
对
called
对对，它都
gout.
变形，后来
对，
都变形，就是因为它那个尿酸结晶沉积在那儿嘛，哈，对
它，腐蚀关节就是让关节就是发炎。
So the most commonly
损伤
affected
肿痛
joints include the
对
knee
所以他们都
joints,
说就是骨头疼
phalanx joints,
对
and the forefoot
痛到
pain.
哎呀，这种痛，哎呀，没办法。
So gout is
我们这
often
个视频
accompanied
也
by
说了，它
redness,
从脚
swelling,
已经到了
heat,
肩关节
pain,
肘
and
关节
even
手指
joint
关节
deformation.
它都这个
它全身的关节
痛风，对对对，
对
这个关节
嗯
都已经产生了，
就接下来就变形了。
就变形，对。
So they cause
对
joint
然后这尿酸
deformation.
过多呢，那肾脏的负担就过重，还会引发肾结
It is
石。
caused
就会
by
损伤
trophy
肾
getting
脏。
stuck in the
对
joints and not being
而且
able
就
to
是
bend
吃
it.
这个
So
治
in
尿酸的
addition
这
to
个
joint
药呢，
symptoms,
它
gout may
活
also
性就
cause
又
other
损
health
伤了
problems
是吧？
such as uric acid,
啊
kidney
所以
stones,
这个
and
痛
kidney
风就很容易
damage.
伤肾，
对
换个角度说，
嗯，
就是容易有这个肾脏结石或尿路结石的人，
嗯
是不是说他这个某个指数比较高呀？
有可能的，师傅。
它也是排不出去
就是
嘛，
应该说容易出现
结
这样的
石啊
结石、痛风
对
对
结晶啊这一些
这样的
对
问题。
对，
这个总是与饮食
有关的。
或生活习惯有关系。
有
So
关
all
系
these are
与
normally
饮食的
related to the
关系
diet
比较密切。
and lifestyle.
对，
像那个肾结石那些，可能有的时候喝水不够啊，或者
So
什么
people who
但
get
这
kidney
个痛
stones
风
could
的
also
这
be
种
due to
关节
lack
上
of
的那种结晶
water, lack of
主要就是
fluids.
吃一些东西哈，我们知道最普遍的就是海鲜配啤酒，
这应该给大家介绍一下饮食当中
But there's
哈
also a
哪
high
些容
chance
易造成
to get gout
这个
when you drink
这叫什么
alcohol together
对
with
来说一说
seafood.
就是说造成痛风的这种食物中呢，它是含什么多呢？叫嘌呤，哎，说
Because
这
it
个物质含得
contains
高的呢，你吃
purine.
多了之后哈，就容易造成痛风。
And by having too
那么
much of that, it actually
什么物
causes.
什么那个食物有这样的嘌呤呢？
If you eat too much of this food, you can to be prone to gout, which includes
哦，那带
seafood,
壳的就是虾呀
stream,
对
crab,
螃蟹呀
shellfish,
龙虾
fish,
就这些带壳
eggs,
啊
etc.
什么生蚝？那刚才师兄说吃生蚝嘛，
or
带壳的
oysters.
哦，海鲜类，还有那个鱼子啊，
对
鱼子也是，
Or
啊
fish
高
roll
嘌呤
or fish
的哈
eggs can also
这是海
cause.
鲜类啊，
还
还有
就是大鱼大肉了，
大鱼大肉
对
啊，对
Or
就是
meat,
肉类。
牛肉、羊肉、
like
口
beef,
肉
lamb,
羊肉
pork,
啊
chicken.
都比较多，是吧？还有这个肉类的那个内脏，
or
内脏
animal
大
intestines,
肠啊，心呐、肝呐、
heart of
这一些的
animals,
嗯
liver of animals.
也是含嘌呤很
They
多
all
的。
contains very
刚才
high
那个
in
之
purine.
前你说到牛肉、羊肉这一些哈，所以它有一种吃法，就是涮火锅儿嘛，就涮
So
火
for hot
锅儿这
part
种就是特别容易高嘌呤。
You should eat less hot pot because hot pot has a lot of raw materials that contains mainly fish and shrimp, beef and mutton, seafood, or mushroom, and all this food actually are very rich in purines.
素食当中，只能说相对少，但是有一些素食含嘌呤也是比较高的。
So there are some vegetables like mushrooms or seaweed or beans like soya bean. They actually contains high in purine as well.
他说黑豆、黄豆哈，吃多了之后也容易这样。
也容易，对，就不能多吃，
什么东西多吃都不好。
So you cannot overeat.
对，
但还有啊，就是师父，我们讲三高的时候，我们的这个无糖行动啊，这个糖不是好东西。
And we also mentioned that sugar is also not something that's good. As actually sugar is also not good. Too much fructose can also trigger gout. So clinical data has shown that excessive consumption of sugary drinks can also lead to gout. For example, carbonated drinks like cola. Last time we have mentioned about a research done by Taiwan, a health research they've done in Taiwan. There's a lot of youngsters in Taiwan who has very high blood sugar due to the diet that they have.
现在很多这个专门来毒化青年人的那个小餐饮店哈。
Nowadays there are many small restaurants
加工的各种的，从喝的到吃的，它尤其是很多青年人晚上熬夜
who produce a lot of food that youngsters like bubble tea, milk tea.
第一个晚上不睡觉。不睡觉呢，肚子又饿。
So a lot of like undergraduates or students or youngsters, they tend to study late at night, and they tend to eat this food.
还有咀嚼类的，像卤豆腐之类的哈，很多都是容易让你不是这痛就那痒的。
So many of this food actually cause health problems. They added a lot of unnatural ingredients to make it taste more flavorful.
之前做些食品调查哈。他们有很多机构也挺好的，就据说某知名
So young people may want to stay away from gout. The real thing to avoid is processed sweets, especially beverages.
对呀，那能对身体好吗？
这真有印象吗？
有印象，有印象。对，我们后来还看了那个企业家的面相，哎呦，真是不积德呀！对对对，真是。对，所以你说这样的油脂吃进去，正常的油脂吃进去都还不好，还容易产生高血脂哈，堵塞血管，你何必你还用的工业用油身体里，那不是害人。
So some people they use recycled oil to cook,
那其实
which is actually very bad for health.
我说直白一点哈，那哪一个加工的这种食品哈，无论是算是这种饼干类。
So processed food, regardless whether there's biscuits or cakes, if you put there for a few years and it doesn't spoil, there's a popular brand of fries that you can leave there for a long time and doesn't get rotten. It still smells the same, it still smells fragrant after a long time, it doesn't rot.
虫子都不干热。
对呀，
那到了你肚子里，你肚子怎么消化的？
So can you imagine when this food ends up in your stomach, how does it digest? How does your body digest the food?
就生病了呗。是。
对。所以常吃这些食品呢。
So when you eat this type of food frequently,
是不可能的。
You are bound to get
对，那这些病呢，
sickness.
从科学道理上来说，主要是先从伤肝伤肾开始。
So they begin with hurting the kidneys and the liver. So we should avoid eating seafood, animal intestines, meat, alcohol, and sweet drinks, sugary drinks.
这种含果糖的饮料会增加74%的痛风的风险。
There's a studies that found that drinking one fructose-sweetened beverage per day was associated with a 74% increased risk of gout and drinking 2 or more fructose sweetened beverages per day increased the risk by 239%.
先生的这个他的亲身经历就应该引以为戒呀。痛风吃坏了，吃到最后自己真是身体受苦。好歹是来了我们菩提，走了八卦，才重获新生。
So for this, he's very lucky to come and practice Energy Bagua and help to improve his health.
引以为戒哈，告诉孩子们哈，不要乱吃。
So remind your children not to eat the wrong food.
这个黄汉明先生的一个，来看这叫啥？
So I'm giving this to Wang Hanmin.
好美啊！
哎，漂亮吧？
This is a natural
你
Agate.
看这像个海鲜似的哈。哎，好，送给黄先生做个纪念哈。
It's for a souvenir for him.
所有的海鲜变成的精灵。
This looks a little bit like the seafood, so it's a souvenir for him to remember the seafood, wishing him longevity, health, happiness,
送给一句话哈，
And
八卦天天走。
and practice Energy Bagua every day, and you live up to 99 years.
感恩师父。
其实这个玛瑙手把件哈，就师傅。
So these are the handheld Agate.
好处，对，为什么叫手把件呢？就握在手里嘛哈，哎，经常的把玩，哎，它就促进这个血液循环。
It helps to improve the blood circulation by holding them.
也好，还是不管什么原因造成的这个关节炎也好，也有很大的帮助啊。
So for those who have arthritis, it's very beneficial.
就排开了嘛哈。
It helps to improve the blood circulation.
放在枕头边睡觉也会。
Or you can put it next to your bed, next to your pillow, and you have a very restful night. It's good for people with insomnia. Can actually be good so that they can rest and sleep well at night.
不一样哈，网友到
独一无二的。
对，到慈悲音网站上去。
So you can go to the 慈悲音 website to choose the one that you like.
或者挂在床头附近。
You can hang it around near the bed.
驱邪。
You can ward off
避
evil.
凶遇难成祥。
You can turn disasters into blessings.
对，还让你能量充足。
It can help to replenish your energy.
弱的时候就放在胸口这儿转一转。
You can also put it at your chest,
就舒缓了。
and you feel
你看
better.
前头那位老奶奶她那个腿哈，那颜色那样子。你如果有这个手把件，每天哈。
So just now we saw the earlier
刮上它380
sharing
多次，来
whereby the legs was a
不要
bit
太用力哈。
dull in color. You can actually use this
轻轻地在那
handheld
摩擦
agate to gently rub against the
不会
foot,
摩擦坏的哈。
对，
它那个气血很快
and it
就
will
充
actually
分
help in her
其实女生呢
circulation.
她做美容也挺好的，
And it's also good for beauty.
它会把你那些黑色素给吸走哈
It。can help to absorb the black pigmentation on your skin.
感恩师
感
傅
恩师父给我们这么好的宝贝。
好，网友们赶紧去选择吧。
真的是为数不多了。
对，
好，那师傅接下来再给师傅带来来自白莲的林玉哈。
Okay, next we have
也是他有一个
Lin
真的是
Yu from 白莲 Meditation
显得遇难
Center.
成祥的故事哈。他说师傅好。
Hello,
我是
Master.
白莲禅堂的林玉。
I'm Lin Yu from 白莲
深感恩
Meditation
师父
Center in the
救我
United
一
States.
命悬一线，让
I'm
我
deeply
遇难
grateful to
成
Master
祥
for saving my
就
life
是最近一周呢，湾区啊，每
by
天
turning a
都有不同
misfortune
程
into
度
an
的降雨。
auspicious event for
2
me.
月28号，就是最
In the
近
past
呢
week,
哈，周二早上开始下雨。
The Bay
我就
Area
像
has
往
experienced
常一样开
various
车去公司，
degrees of
在
rainfall
去的
every
路
day.
上还是下着
It
阵雨，
started to rain
高
in the
速公路
morning
上
of
时不时地
Tuesday,
有一些积
February
水，我
28,
也跟着车
and I
流，
drove to
大
work
概
as
在正
usual.
常车速65英里
On
左
the
右
way,
行
there
驶。
were still showers, and there was
虽
some
然不
water
是
on the
高峰，
highway
但是
from
车
time
辆
to
还是
time,
川流不
and I
息。
followed the
我
traffic
心
at
想
about
每天
65
要小
miles
心
at
驾
a
车，
normal speed.
高速上有
Although it's
4
not the
条
peak
车道，
time, peak
我
hour,
呢就在
but
左
it was
边第
still a
2个
constant
车
flow
道。
of
就
vehicles.
在这时，
I
就
thought to
遇到
myself
了一
that I
段
should
小
drive
的积
carefully
水，
in rainy days.
受到积
There
水
were
的
4
冲击，
lanes
我
on
的
the
车
highway
开始
and
有
was a
些
second
滑
lane
了，
on the left.
车身
And
就
at
左
this
右
moment,
晃
I
动。
encountered a
我
small
想尽力
section
稳
of
住
flooding
方向
water.
盘，但
Under
是
the
方向
impact
盘
of the
突然
flooding
失
water,
控了，
my car
车底
skidded
像抹了
and the
油，
car body
不
began
受
to
控
shake
制。
from side
接
to
着，
side.
我的整
I
个
tried my
车体
best to keep
左
the
前
steering
方
wheel steady,
撞到了
but
左
the
边
steering
高
wheel
速公
suddenly
路
lost
中间的护
control
栏，
and the
由于
bottom of the
惯
car
性呢，
seemed to be
车体
oiled
的
and
左
out
后
of
方
control.
又被撞了一下，
Then the
车
left
就
front
开
of the
始
car
高速
body
地
hit
向
the
右滑动。由
guardrail
于巨大
in
的
the
冲
middle
击，
of the
我
left
戴的眼镜
expressway.
也飞了，
Due to the
感觉
initial,
有东西
the left
把
rear
我
of the
团
car
团
body
包
was
围，
also hit,
看不清
and the
前
car
方的
began
任
to
何
slide
东
to
西，
the right
我的
at
整
high
个
speed
人都
again.
懵了。
Due to
就
the
像
great
偶然的，
impact, My glasses also flew off and I felt something surrounded me. I couldn't see anything in front of me clearly. I was at a loss. I thought, I'm done. I still had a strong thought in my heart. Master, save me. So I closed my eyes tightly and let go of the steering wheel. I gave myself completely to Master. I didn't know what was going to happen. Whether I was going to get hurt or bumped into, my whole mind went blank. In the dark, the car body was bumping up and down, and the speed slowed down while sliding to the right, and it slowly stopped. After a while, I slowly felt that I was still alive. I smelled the smell of burning wires, so I opened my eyes and found that I was surrounded by the airbag of the car. I moved my body slowly, as if I could still move, but I didn't. No harm, no pain. I am still in good shape. I knew it was Master who saved me. I'm very grateful in my heart, and I silently bowed to Master in my heart. I wanted to see where I was, and I couldn't figure out where the car has landed safely. I quickly opened the seat belt and looked for my glasses. Fortunately, the lenses were still intact, and I quickly put them on. At the first glance, the car was scattered all over the place, and the various locomotive failure prompts were displayed on the screen in front of the steering wheel. The airbag was activated, and I opened the car door. It was still raining outside. There were still many vehicles driving at high speed in the rain on the main road of the expressway, and my car was already in the grass at the exit of the expressway. I was stunned for a long time and also thought about it for a long time. I couldn't figure out how my car crossed 3 to 4 lanes to the right from the leftmost lane of the expressway when it was heat while driving at high speed. Moreover, there are vehicles driving at high speed in the rain in front and back all over the 3 lanes, but I didn't get hit by the car, and no car hit me. It was a miracle, and I was totally unharmed. I didn't feel any pain in my body. It was incredible. Thank you, Master. Thank you, Buddha, Bodhisattva, for your protection. I was still very calm at that time, and I dealt with certain things soberly and calmly. It was 11:20, and I realized I was all right. So I quickly called my husband. I was still thinking about the next 2 meetings, so I quickly contacted my colleagues and told them I had a car accident and could not attend the next 2 meetings, so I asked them to do it on my behalf. I contacted the insurance company and reported the accident. Because a passerby called the police also came, and they called the towing company to come and tow my car out of the mud from the grass. After more than 2 hours, it was already 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I got back, and I quickly turned on the computer to prepare and host a meeting with more than 20 customers at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Later, I went to the doctor for a physical and psychological examination. The doctor found that after the car accident, everything was still all right. How lucky I was in my car that was destroyed in the highway crash, but my body was still intact. There was no damage, no obvious bruises, no serious injuries, no broken bones, just some muscle strains. I cannot help but think back about what happened. I couldn't believe that I survived such a major car accident unharmed. In my heart, I am filled with infinite gratitude, and tears burst out unknowingly. In front of the statue of Master, in front of the Buddha, I kept giving thanks and prostrating. I am grateful to Master for saving me. If it wasn't because of Master's rescue, I might not be able to be alive today. I sincerely bow down and thank Master for the love and gratitude.
因为它那个弯曲那个高速路哈，就是往一个方向啊，这五六排车道。
对。
Because on the road there's around 5 to 6 lanes.
最中间那个位置撞了一家伙，一下子跑到完全外面这个草坪上去。
And moving from the lanes to past 3 lanes and going to the grass. And yet, unharmed, it's a pretty miracle. And in the emergency stage, she actually let go of a steering wheel. And she wasn't sure how she managed to go to the grass unscared. The car was badly damaged. The grass was all scattered.
滑行到右边，自己身上除了一点点肌肉的拉伤，哪儿都没事儿。
So besides a little muscle strains, she was totally
撞
unharmed.
完了以后还
开会，没错，对，开完
The
会
airbag
去什么体检呐、心理测验之类的，啥都正常。
啥事儿没有。
对，这佛还留
The
着她
airbag
干
was
活呢
activated, but yet she was all right. She was
对还
unharmed.
没干完啊。
李师姐啊，佛留的干活给佛放
So
假
Buddha
了
has
以
helped
后
to
还
save
得
your
去
life.
利益众生嘛
You still have tasks to do, to accomplish.
对
You're supposed to help
但
more
她那个
beings.
车上呢，的确是挂着车挂。
对
So on her
哎
car, she
你看我
actually
这
had
车挂
the
真是护佑。
Master's
当然呢，她
auspicious
也是这个心
car
到佛知。那么危
display
险的情况下，她心里赶紧喊师傅救我。
So in her
哎
heart,
那
at the
真是要去
emergency,
救
she
到
actually
她了
shouted
对
to
对对
ask Master to
关
save
键
her.
时候哈，所以为什么我人对神佛的崇拜哈？在关键时候神佛就显出他的
So
能
in the
量
state
来
of
哈
emergency, you
对
will see
你
the
看这
power
个
of
高速路
Buddha.
上真的，一出事故真不知生死哎。
没
So
错
many a
尤
times
其
when
像它
accidents
是
like that
挂
happen,
雨天嘛哈，对，雨天然后路滑，
it's a matter of
那
life
旁
and
边的
death.
车辆也自己也很难控制自己的
Because
速
it's such
度
a
啊
rainy day with
对
raining
经常
heavily,
会
other
雨天的
cars
时
will
候
have
出现
problems
是连
controlling
环撞
themselves as
对
well.
对对
So
对
to
他
avoid
们
being
怎么
hit
出
is
去
quite a
的
miracle.
只有佛菩萨知道了。
对，
So only
真是
Buddha know
正常
how
开
she
车
managed to
换车
get
道
out
都容易
of
被
the
撞
lanes,
是
of the
开车
fast-moving
不
lanes.
开换车道。
他是很幸运的。
She
哈
was very
天雪
lucky
天最容易连环撞了。
是，
because
不管
on
怎
rainy
样
days,
哈
it's very
都是
common
佛
to
菩萨
have
护佑哈，
哎呀，感
会有
恩师傅
淋雨。
multiple
如意吉
paths
祥
getting
还要
involved
长
in
命
road
百岁
accidents.
哎呀，收到。
还要利益众生
啊，
啊。
对。
So she has to help more
对
beings.
呀，
收到
对，你不要光给公司干活儿好吗？
Don't just work for your
啊
company, you should help more
这是
being
最重要
people.
的。
哎，
有礼物哈。
好，
So she will also receive a present, a gift.
好，我是2个礼物。
So I
啊
should be
对
given
吧
2
这他一
gifts.
出点问题，大难不死必有后福哈。
哎呀，
来
收到。
So she
看
encountered
你俩认识这个
a
我手里
crisis
拿的
and
是啥
she
吗？
哦，这个是那个
escaped
16
unharmed.
时
对，16时的。
There will be
你
great
看着
blessings
黑
for
的
her
其实手
to
机
avoid
上是
with a,
红
by
对
avoiding the
对像葡
disaster.
萄酒一样是
So
红
she
的
will get a
对
garnet
对对
bracelet.
它呢
它特别红，聚到
对
一起就是
这个
红的嘛
特别特别好，
This a garnet bracelet is very good.
看照一下，
You can see that
透亮，
你看，你看，
看
哎，呦，好
it's
美
actually red in color,
深红深红的，
对，
啊
深红
对
深红的，
there's a
它
beautiful
跟葡
red,
萄酒一样哈。
哎，
对，
like red
还
wine,
有呢，再配上这个绿的，
and you get this
我
blue,
画的
sorry, green
印成的
scarf.
丝巾哈。
嗯
对，那你静下心来哈，
When you
啊
calm
对
down,
用非常清淡的感觉哈，
嗯
来将自己未来的人生去走好
You should
哈
嗯，
对，
calm down and
做
rethink
到
about
一
your
种
path for the
大道
future.
自然啊，安安静静，在平静之中哈，能够发挥自己的智慧，
So in
啊
calm,
让自己过得幸福，还能将来多
to
帮
have
助别
show
人
her
获
wisdom
得幸福哈。
so that she get happiness and help more people to gain happiness as well.
啊
感，恩师傅。
祝你长命百岁，
Wishing
如
you
意吉祥，全
longevity,
家幸福。
happiness,
收到，
and may
感
all
恩
your
师
whole
傅
family be blessed with auspiciousness as well.
那接下来是一位韩国的矮相师姐啊，也是啊。
So
救命
next
的
we have
啊，师傅救
矮
命的
相
来听一听啊。
好，
师
from
傅好，我是
Korea
韩国鞍山禅堂的矮相。那2022年12月的时候呢，我梦到了师傅。
Hello, Master. I'm Ai Xiang from Anshan Bodhi Meditation Center in South Korea. I'm 53 years old this year. In December 2022, I dreamt that Master came to Anshan Bodhi Meditation Center to view objects with everyone. In the dream, Master told me, you need to wear a Dharma blessed item. When I woke up, I felt that the dream was too real. I just thought,
到了傍晚，天色蒙蒙黑，还下着小雨。
and I changed the Dharma treasures in the meditation center every day. What should I wear? Later, I decided to wear the red agate bracelet of the warring state spirit, which I had just invited on my left wrist. One evening, the sky was dark and it was raining slightly. I was about to cross the street when the green light on the sidewalk turned on. I walked a few steps forward and I saw a pickup truck heading straight for me, in front of me to the left. The speed was too fast. I didn't have time to dodge. I subconsciously covered my face with my left hand, and then I was hit by the car and I flew out. The strange thing was that the moment I flew out, I felt that as if I hit something soft, as if someone has been supporting me and slowly putting me on the ground. I was in a semi-conscious state at that time, and I could hear someone calling me, and I couldn't move my body, and I couldn't open my eyes. Later, an ambulance took me to the hospital. A Dharma sister from meditation center rushed to the hospital after hearing the news. Seeing my state, my Dharma sister was very anxious and kept calling my name. The nurse tried to open my eyes several times, but I couldn't open them, nor could I move. My Dharma sister took out the photo card of Master that she carried with her and said to me, "Master, please save Sister Anxiang. Sister Anxiang, open your eyes quickly. Master is here." It was so amazing that I opened my eyes immediately. Later, the doctor did a comprehensive examination for me. Except for the injury in the corner of my mouth that required 2 stitches, everything else was intact. At that time, my clothes were completely soaked, and the temperature in Korea in winter is around -3 to 4 degrees. After laying down in the cold rain for more than half an hour, I didn't catch a cold or ache. It was very miraculous. I'm so grateful to Master. It was Master who saved me and helped me to block a catastrophe for me and told me in advance in my dream that I should wear a Dharma blessed item. Once again, I'm grateful to Master. I want to serve the public better in the meditation center so that more people can benefit from Master's wonderful teaching. Anxiang prostrate respectfully to Master. So for her, she was hit by the truck and she actually flew off. It's a miraculous event because she was hit by such a big truck. And she felt she was gently put down on the floor. But at that time, she was already semi-conscious. And when she reached the hospital, she couldn't open her eyes initially. So her Dharma sister was so sharp, and she actually took a picture of Master and told her that Master is here. So immediately she opened her eyes. So do you think that in an accident, when a person is subconscious, is it very important to wake the person up? Yes, because if you can't wake the person up, the person probably may be dead. Because at that time, maybe the person's spirit is actually drifting out. So you have to call the person to wake up. There are many people who are in vegetable stage. They cannot get out of the vegetation state. So there are some people who go for neurosurgery. It's like the spirit has actually left the body. Sometimes they can even see the procedure, how the doctors perform the surgery in the operation room. The problem is that when they see the spirits of the ancestors at this moment, it's possible that the spirit may be led away. So when a person is not due to leave the life yet, the end of life is not due yet, and the Dharma sister keep calling her back, it's not a coincidence. Her dream is not a coincidence, it's actually a reminder to her, to warn her about what's going to happen. When we look at all these blessed items,
但是当它与神佛有关系的时候，就它的功用 就一下就提升和放大。
When we look at these blessed items from a normal perspective, you may just think that it's a normal item. But when it's associated with the blessings of Buddha,
我们先说佛门哈，
then it makes the blessed item very different.
道门道教我也认识一些师傅哈，也是很
So
厉
in
害。
Taoism, I've known a
他的
few
加持过的
masters.
比如说一个宝物，拿了一个任意的一个珠子，
They may take
我们说
a
这个不是八宝
simple
灵珠，这是
bead,
块学生用的橡皮，
or they can even take a
这个塑料
eraser
类的
that
东西，
students
对不对？胶
use,
皮类的东西，
the normal
它
eraser.
本身并不是个宝物，对吧？
It itself
它
is
是一个
not a
普通
precious
物品
item.
啊，橡皮擦嘛，
It's just an
铅笔
eraser.
写的字不想要了擦掉它是吧？
It's just normal
那肯定
eraser,
不
for
是宝物，
example.
这卖的话也不值钱。
Even if it's sell
就
it,
是
it's not
当
worth
这
any
个
money.
大师傅修得好的人，把一个符咒
But if
加
a
进去，
great Taoist
他故意把
monk
能量加进去，
who has very high
我加这个
powers, he's
能量的
able
时
to
候
put
说让他
blessings
避
into this
开
item.
邪气，或者避开某
Example,
种
to
邪
ward
气
off evil,
或者让这个邪气返还给你加邪气的人身
or
上，
to return the
可能都
the
会产
curse
生
back to
它
the
的功
person who
效。
initiated it.
邪魔或者鬼来看这块橡皮擦的时候，
So when
不是橡皮
spirits
擦，
and ghosts, when
它
they
是一
see
片
this
佛光。
eraser, they will see this as a
它
different. It's not
这个
just an
鬼邪
eraser. They
很
will
难
see
靠近。
the Buddha's
是
light
看
on
不
it.
清
They
这
will
是
not
什么
dare to
东
go
西。
near it.
比如说这个东西，比如说我给了谁了，
So for
比如说
example,
给
if
了
I've
你了，
given this item to
你
you
呢挂在床头，
and you put it
或者
next
带
to
在
your
身上，
bedside or you carry it on
等
your,
他
on
看
your
你的时候
body,
就是充满佛
so
光，
when
他
the
哪敢
evil
靠近你
spirits look
呢？
at you,
他靠近你他就死了。
they will not dare to come
可能
near
一个
you
人跳
because
到
they
火
actually
炉子
see a
里去
very
能活得
bright
了吗？
Buddha's light
是
on it.
同样的一个道理，
So this is the
对，
same
它起
logic.
到一个很好的一个护佑作用。
So it actually
那如
offers
果不懂，你
protection.
听我这么讲哈，尤其是我们在中国大陆长大的，一听
So
这个
for
确实
some
有
of
点
you who
迷
has
信。
grown up in
我
China,
自己说的有点心虚哈，也怕人这么骂。其实我们那么小时候也这么笑话过别人，
when we're
等
young,
懂了之后，才发现，哎，这个世界太神奇了。我们笑话别人的时候，是因为我们的无知啊。
when we were young in China, we tend to
当你
laugh at
受
other
罪的时候，
people
你才
because
知
we
道
were innocent.
什么叫
We were
邪魔。
ignorant then.
很多人倒
But
下
as
去
we
一
grow
下昏
older,
倒
we
到
know
昏
that
死
actually
哈，
there's evil
有
spirits
时候
around.
就是一股黑气。
Sometimes it's just
我
the
在
evil
其实
spirit
我做了几个
that
实验，
caused
我在网上
people
找
to
那个
fall.
有些人、有些老师或者一些教授、一些专家，是给人讲课的时候，因为讲课的时候就有人在拍他嘛，讲着讲着课，啪就倒了。
So there are some
那我
professors
就
who
回
are
头
actually
看他前头讲事儿的
teaching
那
a
个
class
时间里头
and suddenly
会
they
发
fall
生什么，
or
我把
collapse.
整个那个屏
So
幕
when I
调
look
得
at the
特别
video
硬，我
again
自
and
己
look
在
at it,
看啊。比如说有一次，北大一个教授，
there was
我
once
不是在哪讲座哈，
in
在一
Beijing
个大的一
University,
个大台上
there was a
在讲，
professor who was speaking in
他
the
咣就
public
倒到地上，
and suddenly he
然后我
collapsed.
查了一下，他那天倒下去就就死
And
了，就
after
是
that, he collapsed
哦
and
所以我
died.
们叫猝死啊。
猝死。
啊，
那一般说不是脑出血就是心脏病发
Normally we
作
say
嘛。
that it's due to a heart attack or a
师傅看到
stroke.
什么呢？
那我呢就给他放大，
So
放大之后
Master
把屏
watched
幕
the
调得最
video
亮
and he looked at
我
it.
仔细看，就用肉眼看啊，用天眼看见不算了，
He watched
啊
用肉眼看
attentively
看看，等他就是从这个，比如说我右手边这么上台，他跑着上来，上台
and
的
when
时
he
候
came on
就是
stage,
从他的左侧面就
on the left
带
side
了
一个白的一个影子，
there was
但是这个
a
特别
white
大
figure,
像空气一
but
样，
it was very
像把云
translucent.
嘛
It's
哈，
something like
就是
like
减少
the
了
air.
只剩下1/10淡淡的，哗，就
It
过
was
去
a
了，
very
灵魂嘛，
是没有给
faint
他穿过去，等到他身体那儿
white
就再没
image
离开，
那就进入
that
身体
passed
了呗。
him.
他在那讲了一会儿就倒下去了。
So soon after his speech,
那这是我
he
们所说的
collapsed
黑
and
白无
died.
常，就来抓他。
So
这个
it's
邪气
just
不是
like
别的邪
the
气，
ghost that
是
was
白无
catching him.
常来抓他。黑无常躲在一边，我没看见。
哦，
那么还有一个女的老师，可
It's
能
like
是
the
一个
black
知
and
名企
white
业家，
ghost
在
from
讲课讲着，
to
他那也
came
是可
to
能是
catch
晚
his
上一
soul.
个礼堂里讲，
嗯，
就一个黑影子，好像从这观众群里头慢慢的
站起来，
像个大的蠕虫一样，呼呼呼爬到他那儿，和他合二为一。
So sometimes there's
啊，大概2-3分钟之后，他瘫软到地上，啊，七窍流血而死。就是，对，有时候这个邪气哈，但是回到医院，医生说啊，比如说心脏病发作，
for example, a person has a heart
脑溢血。
attack
对，
就算是这些
or
都没
stroke
查出来，啊，他也不会说不知原因。
They will not
跟一
say
个
that
脑溢血死
it's not due to
不
any
是挺合
reason.
理吗？不要显得我医生无能，对不对？
The
因为他
doctors
已经
normally
死了
give
嘛
it to some
就是
reason
这样
for the
而已
death.
因为而且大众都看见，不是被人害死的，
嗯，
他就是自己倒下去
对，
的。
自然死亡就
对
叫，
We call it natural death, but actually it could be due to some evil spirits. But when these evil spirits encounter the Buddha's light, they do not dare to come near. It's just like an egg against the stone. So if your life can be extended, for those who come and practice Energy Bagua, like the first sharing that we had, who is 88 years old, she had so much illness and sickness. Actually, it's a very critical stage and could have, the life is in danger. But by practicing Energy Bagua, her life has been extended. So she can continue the existence. So sometimes in life, there are some people who don't want to live anymore, and yet they can't die.
挺好，继续往前活，反正不到250，
也能活过250。真有人到这个年龄的时候，他的那个都改了，或者自己都不想那样。那活到那个年龄的人哈，就是活到160岁以上的人哈，
People who live more than 160 years old, they may look like a very young person. They may regain the face of a young person. It's like through the practice, the body has become younger and rejuvenated. The body has changed. You have grown younger.
因为他这种灵的能力哈，他连他的户口、身份证的意思都改了。在这个时候，你拿到的是一个小姑娘的一个身份证。
So it becomes like they look like a young
这个是
person.
一般人理解不了的哈。
This is something beyond what we can
想
imagine.
一下这种加持啊、法物哈。
So we are talking about blessed items, about blessings,
作用就是直观可以想象的作用。
对，
about the use of all these blessed items.
根本让邪气无
You can actually ward off evil
你像
so that they do not dare to come near you.
这个，你还有
Let's talk about the one that had a car accident.
啊，那是去年吧撞车，
And we had
我
a
没有讲过
Taiwan
哈
disciple
也一样
who。had a car accident last
他
year,
在这个在台湾那个也是下了雨嘛，
and it was
还有
also
路
raining,
滑
and the
路滑
the
的时候
floors,
呢
the roads
还
was
是
very
特别小
slippery.
心高速路上，
It was also on the highway,
可是遇到一个水洼啊，
and there was
车
also
怎么打滑就出去了，他很
slippery.
很恍惚，就那一刹那自己看不见任何东西，
So at that moment, she couldn't see anything
看
at
不
all.
见的，
When the accident
看不见
happened,
的，
the car skied.
他都感觉好像车像飘一样，
She felt that the
这个地
car
方
was
停下来
drifting,
啊，
like
睁开
floating.
眼
And when she opened her eyes,
哎，我还活着呢吗？
she was still alive.
先证明一下我还活着呢吗？
对对对
就活动手指，哎，
So she moved her fingers, and yeah, she was still alive. It could still move.
一动腿，哎，腿也能
She
动
moved her feet, and yes, it was still moving.
车门也能打开。
When she opened the door, it
你
opened.
看也是停在一个草坪上去。
She was also on the grass.
对，他车上身上都带着宝物。
On her body, she was wearing a blessed item, and also in the car, she has also placed a
我
glazed
这是稍微多
crystal
讲了一
car
点哈
tassel.
占大家的时间哈。哎，矮象，我们还给他送礼物嘛？
给他
So
送
let's
哎呦
give
刚才
her
正好
a
拿着
gift.
这个八宝莲珠哈。
好啊好啊，
好，送给这个矮象哈。祝你如意吉祥，
Wishing her
长
blessed
命百岁。
收到
auspiciousness, longevity, and may the whole family also be auspicious and happy.
师傅啊，我们网友也是在积极的在听哈，听的都特别感动啊，也有网友留言哈啊，他留言虽然短，但是也积极的想要分享他们的受益。
There's also someone who also wants to share on the
in
the message.
他的分享，他说70岁的老母亲啊
She，said her
这个
mother is
脚啊肿了
70 years
1个
old.
月走八卦7
Her
天
legs
后
were swollen
不肿
for more than a
胀了
month
以前
after
不敢下
practicing
院子
Energy
来溜达
Bagua.
现在和我啊一天走上走下的，每天都能走
She
1个
can
小时
now
八卦。那个妈妈呢还老喊，之前老妈妈老喊饿，老要吃东西，
Walk
是
for
有血糖尿
After
病的
practicing Energy
现在饭
Bagua,
量
her
也
legs
下
are
来
much
了，不喊
stronger and
饿
she
了
can actually walk
血
for more
糖
than an
从之前
hour.
的12降到现在7，基
She
本
used to
正
say
常
that
了
she's
感恩
always
师傅
hungry, but now she says that she's not hungry anymore and the blood sugar has also
太棒
gone
了太
down.
棒了
这老
So the mother has swollen feet and she had high blood sugar. So after practicing Energy Bagua for 7 days, the swell has gone down. So now her blood sugar has gone down to normal.
好，不错不错。好，我送他一个这个，就在这儿放的。这个叫啥呀？
石榴石。
石榴石哈，
女生特别适合。
送给这位叫啥呀？他从网上留言的哈。
叫莹美。
莹美哈。
莹美。
送给莹美的妈妈哈。
好。
好，祝老人家健康长寿。
So now let's give this to Yingmei's mother, wishing her longevity and good health. It's a garnet bracelet for her. So there's another sharing. I have more than 30 years of suffering from an illness. I have more than 10 years of respiratory problems, and in the winter, I couldn't even sleep. I was coughing non-stop, and I used to have insomnia because of that for more than 10 years. So after practicing Energy Bagua, I can now sleep.
网友吴英玉哈，他有韩文的，是不是从韩国发来的？
So she's probably from Korea.
礼物哈，哎，这是真火石哈，这个，哇，这个太漂亮了。
It's a firestone.
所以这一个特有的珠子哈，我们也叫乐字哈，因为比较大的扁的这个珠子哈。
So this is more special.
送给网友吴英玉哈。
Let's give to Wu Yingyi, wishing you auspiciousness, longevity, and happiness to the whole family.
师傅，我们很多网友都特别喜欢，就前一段时间师傅在直播中给大家看相哈，指导啊。
So Master, a lot of of our friends, online friends, they enjoy the session that Master was actually reading, the face reading online. So they are saying, can Master still have more sessions about face reading? So people ought like to know about face reading.
虽然心里是个杂货铺，但是都是知道一点儿，知道的并不深啊。所以我看网友的热情度呢，我觉得我还是看的不够好啊。
不是，师傅对看的其实跟一般的那个相师是不一样的。师傅看到的都是我们说是除了他这个面相特征之外，师傅还能看到他。
Master, besides looking at the features, the superficial features of a person's face, Master is able to see a more in-depth of a person by face reading.
对，能也是给大家在地的网友哈。
So in KL,
一些这个乌梅醋哈。
Master has shown the palm vinegar.
说你们就送就可以了，但是很多人希望说能见见我，但是我呢，一般我其实3年没怎么见人吧，我
So for 3 years, Master hasn't really met a lot of you for 3 years.
确实有点胆怯，其实那是才是真实的我，我其实就是一个胆小哈。
Actually, I'm very timid.
有点怕羞啊。
I'm very shy.
是真的，你看我成天讲课，你以为我是个很大方的。
You may think that I keep speaking,
有点忧郁的。
So I'm a very open.
但是看。 大家想见我盛情难却，那我就见吧。所以呢，我见我的时候啊，我一边说按照所谓的相学来看，还有他问的内容哈。
So in Korea,
有时候我经常会用天眼看。
I tend to see it.
你有天眼吗？
有。
反正就胡说八道当天眼吧，不是天眼还是鬼眼的哈。就是我能看到。
So Master actually helps some in KL to look at the face reading.
我说严重一点就是。 将来去世的时候那个样子。
So Master was able to see what happened when the person dies.
你的幸福感呢？其实这个相上有的时候是没有的，或者有我看不懂啊。对，所以呢，我呢就是都是提前声明，我是不客气、不客套，我也不奉承。当然，我不会故意说难听的话哈，那是不会的。但是啥就是有啥说啥。
So Master spoke his mind.
当然，我保留的是说，比如说看他
For example, if he sees that the person is going to pass away in 10 months' time, but Master will not say that. He will ask the person to quickly go and gain some merits, build some good merits. But some person asked Master's question like, will I gain wealth next year? So Master will tell them, build more merits for yourself and for your future generation. But some people are still not satisfied. They will ask me to look at more about their wealth. But I can't tell them so directly. I told them, as long as they're healthy, is happy, build more merits, do more good deeds. So there's some who came and keep saying that, my mom is sick. So there's a girl who come and say a lot of things about the mother. But Master asks her, do you have any problems? She said, yeah, I have headaches. Are you sure that's it? She said, I can see some spirits. So sometimes when you are very sick, you do not dare to tell people about it. Or if you have infectious disease, or if you have cancer, or you have STDs, you do not dare to tell people. Who would dare to say all that? Due to pride, people will not address these issues. For Master, sometimes if he sees that your life is a very normal life, and people ask him, do you think I'll have great, prosperous life? So Master will just say, watch out for your health. As long as you have a job, it's good enough. It's because Master has seen something that you may not gain great wealth. You may be one that once you stop working, you do not get food. Master thinks that it's actually quite alright, but for the person, he may think that it's not good enough. But actually, the more you work, maybe you get healthier. So there'll be others who think that, Master, you see, I'm so good looking. I'm already 40 plus. Do you think I can go a good business? When Master look at a person, your current life is really very good. This current fortune is really very good. The Master, your boss, by engaging you, you are in a very good position already. Or there's another old gentleman from Malaysia. He asked Master to help to tell his fortune. There is a mine that I can earn a lot of money if I put in $1 million. It's about recycling business. So he has found a great opportunity. By putting in $1 million, there's a recycling business that can say that it can make great money. But for Master, for recycling plant, in order to keep $1 million as savings, you know how long it has taken him to earn that? So I wrote back to him. I look at his photo. He sent all photos from all angles. I analyzed his looks, analyzed his situation. I told him to be contented in life. I did not tell him anything about the investment. So I checked. I already replied him for more than a month. He has not replied me because I believe he must be very upset with my reply. He was probably waiting for an answer for me to tell him to just go ahead and go for the business venture.
不要往两面看，笔直的往前走。
Just go ahead.
往前跨一步就是天堂。
He was probably expecting me to tell him that take one more step forward and it's actually heaven. But maybe by jumping forward, he realized that it is hell.
可是我呢，第一句话让你省了1000万。
But with what I told you, you could have saved $1 million. But I think that old gentleman probably didn't like my answer.
最少1000万，这是第一。第二个还送你一条命。
He has already saved $1 million, and yet he has saved his life. Why is it so? Because if his loss is $1 million, he may also lose his life. Such a precious gift for him, and yet he probably got upset about it. So that's why I was telling you, when I read about face reading, I probably offended a lot of people with what I told them. So Master, whatever he told them, some people can accept that and some people cannot accept what Master tells them. If you have wealth, I will help you to secure your wealth.
但你说耽误了你发财的机会，朋友啊，在马来西亚能存款1000万马币的人是少之又少。
In Malaysia, to be able to save $1 million ringgit is not something that's easy.
这个钱你年龄过了60岁，
If you're already more than 60 years old and you have managed to accumulate $1 million, you should keep it for your retirement. You are considered as very wealthy already, so do not be too greedy. Sometimes the project is not about the feasibility, it's about your greed. If not, you may not even have the chance to get the 3 highs. So I helped you to save $1 million and also help you to save your life.
是吧？说的年轻人啥都不会干，我就说你别想那么多，你先学点知识。
So for youngsters, those who don't know how to do anything, I tell them not to think too much and learn some skills, pick up some skills first.
是吧？这个你要读得懂哈，所以这个你要上升到一个层次。
So you must accelerate to a certain level.
我是希望能让你这个有缘人哈，你上来能听我的讲的内容的人。 So I hope those who have the affinity to have the chance to listen to me speak to you, that you will have a better life.
如果师父在不管直播中还是邮箱中啊回复的时候，我们真的要去悟一下啊。
So sometimes when Master replies to us when they ask questions, we really have to think about it. Because Master has spent so much time and effort to try to give us directions.
吉祥的忽悠你都接收不到，对，就像刚才是师父是一团佛光，可是你融不进去呀，对，反而排斥走了。
It's just like Master is the Buddha's light, illuminated light, but you cannot move towards the light.
这个课，我还是实话实说啊，反正至少有一天你可能会开悟的。
Perhaps one day you will be enlightened. You may watch my video again and you get enlightened by what I say. Like some people who recklessly make an investment because of the greed. So some people who actually put all their money into investments just because of being greedy. So sometimes because of the greed, it actually blinded us. But when I tell you about it, when I point it out to you, you may feel upset by my truth.
希望你能够东山再起，能做得更好一点。但是我此刻的心情就觉得你需要沉淀3年。
But sometimes I think that you need to settle and think about it for 3 years. Because as long as you got money, you keep thinking that the opportunity is here again.
有时候这个他也是做错事也会变成一种习惯哈。
Some people commit mistakes; it becomes a habit to them.
网友们哈，我是说话是直言不讳的。
So I'm very frank.
说话不会太狠，给你一条出路。 而这个出路呢是可行的。
And I give you a solution.
那咱们还讲吗
？Should I tell you about it?
哎呀，为了大家的好哈，我是希望师父还是给大家讲一讲， 毕竟还是多数的网友，大多数的都还是听到了师父的指导，
对
救命，
Actually,
这个也
most
是师父救了我的一部分呢。
对，你不光说多大生意的哈，或任何一种事情的，总有我的观点，我看到的观点啊，就是顺着你的耳朵，你爱听的哈，
For
你喜
Master,
欢，
he will
不顺你的耳朵，希望你也能喜欢。
Master always give you certain opinion. It may be what you like to hear, and it may be not what you like to hear.
两
But
人要苦口
regardless of whether it's something that you like or not like, Master hope that you will heed his
好的
advice.
那我们就下一期吗？
好啊，
都可以。
So,
首
for
先
the
就
next
是我想
session,
提醒网友们哈，如果有这个需求的话，还是把你的那个申请哈发到这个看相报名表上。
那要求要说一下哈。
for those who would like to have their face reading, you can send in the recent photo
正面的、侧面的、45
to
度的，
take the
但是呢
picture
这个
from the
光线
front
一定要
view,
比
the
较
side
合适
view,
不能太暗，也不要太
and the
亮
lighting must be good.
然后呢，
If you want Master to help to read your
照清
face
楚
reading,
别化妆
and do not put on
别用
makeup
美颜那些功能，对，就是实实
without
在在
the
地呈现给
filters,
师父看。
the camera filters, you can send your photos
然后还有
over
就是说你提交
to
的时
help
候呢
to get Master
你
to
必须
help with the
同意
face
我们
reading.
直播中是用的，
And
而
you
且
must
会把
also
这个照片
agree
呐和你的
that
讲述的
we
这个
can
故事都
use
会
your
讲出来的
pictures
啊
and
这个一定要同意。
share about your face reading online in the public
所以
domain
三思而后行，真的是需要帮助的那么你就来提交这个。
So for those who actually need to have the face reading by Master JinBodhi, please send in the registration forms.
都是非常难得的。
对
This is
还
a
有一个
very
提
rare
醒呢，就是把
opportunity,
这件事情的前因后果尽量的讲的详细
and
一
it's
点。
best that you can
有的时候就是
elaborate
草草
in
几句你
details
知道什么怎么一回事但是我们从文
about
字
what's
中
happening
不
or
是
what you
很
want to
清
find
楚地
out,
了解你的意思
so that we
还
can
是要
understand it
详
better.
细一点清晰一点
So it's
这样的
best to
话呢才
narrate
更好
in
地
full
能够帮到
details.
你对，感恩师父。
好，大家听懂了呢，就填那个表哈。
So fill in the
对
form
那你只要递上
if
那
you
个
want
表
Master to do the
再
face
声明一
reading
下
for
啊
you.
我会直言不讳的讲。
So Master
无论
will
你爱
be
听不爱听，
saying the
我讲
truth.
了
It
我
may
就
not
不
be
会撤
something
下
that you like to listen,
对，那你
but
只要
he
递上
hopes
这个
that
表呢，就会同意让我
by
讲你的
sending
故事
in the application, it means that you
那
are
我是
willing to let
凭着自己
Master
的
to read about it
真诚
online in the
还有
public
佛
domain.
心再加良心来讲的，我都会说给你解的方法哈。
So Master
甚
will
至说
teach
我
you
替你背后去供灯求佛
about how you
来
can
雇佣你帮助你
rectify the
对我是这
situation
样一个内心这样的一个
and
做人
guide
的人
you.
是的一番好意，真的
绝对
是
一番好意。不管社会多么诱惑你我讲的都是实实在在的，想让你更好。
Regardless of
不会误导你的哈。
what others are saying, but Master will give
非
his
常感
best to
谢
guide you.
我们像今天提供你的故事提供你的照片的朋
So
友
you
们
can feel free to
欢迎
share your
大家有
stories.
各
Feel
种各
free
样
to
的
share your
遭遇
photos
各种
if
奇
you
特
are
的故事
interested to have
吉祥
the
的故
face
事
reading.
啊
You can also share
都
about
可以
your
发给
own
我
testimonial
如
about
果需要我
sharing.
帮助的话，我
If you
能
need
尽量帮
help,
啊。
you can
那
email
需
to
要我讲
Master
解你的面相和
at
各
the
种
following
情况
email
的人
address.
我都是平心而论在讲你的问题哈。对，那最终都会去帮助你好，那我们今天的课程内容就到这里
Okay, we have come to the
祝
end
大
of
家健
today's
康
session.
长寿
Wishing everyone
如
happiness,
意吉祥
longevity,
幸
auspiciousness,
福快乐
happiness,
下次直播再见。
and see you at our live broadcast. The next live broadcast is on Sunday, 7 p.m. Asian time. Thank you.
在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相